Shadow at Toad Hype. Meowdy Peeper Sit Popcorn.
Hello? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Fionn. Hi, everyone. Normally, I would read all the names, but there are all of a sudden a lot of people here. Are you ready for this? Nyan. I'm ready right now. Hi. I guess I can show this, huh? Thank you for all the subs. Chavers, Uncle Disco, Clegane, thanks for gifting a sub to Sarah. Tycho, thanks for the sub. Woodwood, thank you for the 5 gifted. Raul, thank you for the 5 gifted. I'm nervous. And Fruity, thank you for the raid. I will change the music so this isn't just sleeping. Welcome to the Warrior Cat stream, where we will be... I'll play this. We will be... Okay, hi. If you don't know what today's stream is, today is a stream, also Superfit, thanks to follow, that we hit the sub goal to do back in like September. September? Radio Bloom, thanks for the follow, not the sub. When I was a young she-cat girl, I fell in love with a book series called The Warrior Cats, and it had the whole, like, different clans already dying, shut up, different clans and, like, cool stuff like that, and it was like combat and good writing, and it was fun. And little young Shadow went online and made OCs. Whoa, Star Clan, take you. Yep. And OCs? Oh, sorry, music is very loud. Yeah, it's pretty epic. OCs. OC. That stands for Original Character. And I made my own, and I wrote from their perspectives on an online forum called Blue and Leaf. And I had a lot of fun. A friend of mine from school also did it with me. And we will be reading some of those. I found my old account. It's been archived. And I read through 42 pages. 42 pages of roleplay. Just of mine. And I narrowed it down to 7 threads. So we will be hearing from Ravs, OC, Sarah, Zoe, Melon, the mods and VIPs, and the last one has 10 characters, and we're going to be opening it up to chat. It's going to be people that I recognize, but if you guys want to hop in for the final reading, we will do that. Yeah. You know, it's legit when they archived your account. Yeah. So the website now is called Feral Front, if you want to go look it up. But I will try my best to not spoil stuff until mine comes up. But like I'll have it all open at the end of stream. Like I'll share the links. Some other things. So the scripts that I have sent to the people that are reading have only their lines. They have not read my lines. So hopefully there's going to be some still funny moments and cringe there. Is there anything else? To me, this stuff isn't really cringy because I've been reading it nonstop for the last couple months. I hope it's not boring. I think it's going to take just like an hour and a bit of reading Warrior Cat stuff. I've also included breaks where we're going to read some out of character stuff. So out of character means like stuff that just Kid Me wrote just as me. So there's some threads there. At the end of Warrior Cats, we're going to look a little bit at my old Tumblr, where I roleplayed as a Nekozawa from Oran High School Host Club, and also at my Wattpad where I wrote short stories, and we're gonna read some of that. I might not read follows and things because there's a lot going on. It's pretty low budget. It's gonna be pretty chill, but I hope that you guys enjoy. Do we get to find out Shadow ships? I mean, you could just ask me. If Braver Than I could ever be. I'm owning the cringe. Also, there's stuff that's way worse than all of this that you're never going to see, so it's fine. I roleplayed as a real person, so you're never gonna see that. Never gonna see? Yeah, I roleplayed as a celebrity. 2K subs? We'll see. Okay. We should start because I told Ravs that he was on about 4:20 and it's 4:13 and we haven't started yet. I don't know. Oh gosh. Also, this morning I was playing League of Legends because I was so nervous. I needed something to distract me, and then we were talking about why we were home at 1 p.m. playing League of Legends. Should I turn sound alerts off? Thank you, Rain. Now shut up. Just kidding. I thought I didn't put sound alerts on this page, so I don't know how they're playing. Anyway, I was playing League of Legends 1 p.m. They were like, hey, could, what, I forget what I was saying. Anyway, people on League of Legends found out that I was streaming because I said that I was streaming, and if they come here today, I'm gonna be really embarrassed. I'm gonna turn off sound alerts. I don't know how to do that. I didn't add the source to this page, so.
In the arms of
how do I turn off sound
an
alerts?
angel, fly away from here.
Of all days, I know. I don't know how to turn them off. Go to the dashboard on alerts and hit pause. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the music that we're playing is gonna be Skyrim. Just so you know. Alerts will be on, but I probably won't read them. Okay. First up, I have prepared a PowerPoint because I figured most of you do not know anything about this. And if you're going to be listening to kids role-playing who know everything about it, you're going to need to know some stuff. So I literally made a PowerPoint. Okay, first, a little bit of a disclaimer. While the characters that will be read and created for, not for this stream, but featured on this stream are original characters, this presentation will contain spoilers for the following book series: Warriors, The Prophecies Begin, Warriors, The New Prophecy, Warriors, The Power of Three, Warriors, Omen of the Stars. If you plan on reading these books, look away now. Footnotes. Behind me is an official MLA citation, which I had to relearn how to do because I forgot how to do it since university. Thank you, Soda P, for your art of Gray Stripe, friend of Firestar. Thank you. Will there be a test? Perhaps. Okay. A brief introduction. Most of this I wrote. Warriors, also known as Warrior Cats, is a series of novels written by authors Kate Carey and Cherith Baldry, as well as others, under the collective pseudonym of Aaron Hunter. So if you go to the library and you want to pick up these books after this presentation, you're going to be looking at Aaron Hunter. Series is based on the adventures and drama of multiple clans of feral cats. These are real cats. I know some people thought that they were human cats. They're not. They're cats. in the books, there are 4 clans, at least in the book series we're in. I know Sky Clan is a later clan. We're not going to be talking about them, okay? 4 clans. There's Thunder Clan, Shadow Clan, River Clan, and Wind Clan. Okay, we'll get to what those mean in a further discussion. So the first series, Warriors of Prophecies Begin, takes place in the Forest Territories and follows Fireheart of Thunder Clan. He's the main character. The Warriors that do Prophecy follows the next generation, so it's Fireheart's kids, Leafpool and Squirrelflight. And is about the migration from the Forest Territories to the Lake Territories. So if you're thinking we're in the Forest Territories, we're not. We are in the Lake Territories. All books after this series and all roleplays that will be featured today take place in the Lake Territories. Okay, everyone got that? So relationships between the clans are usually pretty tense. They're not really all friends, and they often come into conflict with one another. But they meet every moon, which is a month, at the Gathering, which is at a place in the middle of all 4 clans, where they peacefully discuss affairs and things like that. Like, who needs more food? Who needs water? Are there people encroaching? Etc. Yeah, they had to move because of the presence of Two Legs. Two Legs are people, which we'll get to. All right. These are the 4 clans. You can't really see behind me, but we'll get to it. Thunder Clan is the main clan. They are all the protagonists are usually from Thunder Clan. I think there's like 2 series where they're not. Melon, shut up. Thunder Clan is like your Gryffindor. They are the brave and noble ones. Their camp is in the woodland area. This is going to be important because I have cats from all different clans, so keep this in mind. Thunder Clan is good at hunting in dense undergrowth, so like bushes and trees and things. They eat mice, squirrels, and birds. They often take in loners or kitty pets. Kitty pets are cats that are owned by people, not feral. And loners are cats that are feral but are not in a clan. Thunder Clan is mainly peaceful. They are known for being courageous, loyal, peaceful, and sometimes thought of as being weak because they allow anyone to join their clan. Okay? Shadow Clan, they live in the swamps and they hunt at night and stick to the darkness. They eat lizards and frogs. And they are proud, loyal, but aggressive and greedy. Often misunderstood. And they are good fighters. Most of the cats today will be featured in Shadow Clan, because I'm edgy and clever and sly. River Clan, they live in the river and the lakes and the streams. They swim and catch fish and are not afraid of water like the other cats. They are well fed with slick fur, clever, graceful, stubborn, lazy. They got 2 pluses and 2 negatives. And they collect rocks and shells and feathers to decorate their dens. It's going to be an exam? Yes. No. Thank you for the sub. Wind Clan. They live on the moors and the open places, so they don't, hide. They're just really, really fast. And run. They're fast runners, they're small, and they're wiry. They catch rabbits and hares. They're fiercely loyal, tough, nervous, but also quick to flee. And they're close to Star Clan. Spiritually and physically. So Star Clan is... pretty much, it's heaven. It's where the cats go when they die. They go into the stars. The night sky, that's what they call silver pelt. it's the starry sky. Like a pelt that's made out of stars. Is Shadow Clan always raunchy and mysterious? Yes. And then, so there's there's cats that are in communication with Star Clan. This is a map of the Lake Territories. So as you can see, Shadow Clan is here in the top left. Thunder Clan is here in the top right. River Clan is here in the bottom left at the river. And Wind Clan is on the right here in the hills and open area. The island where the gathering takes place is in the middle here. So we will be mostly in Shadow Clan and some River Clan, and that's it. A guide to warrior cat names. Could be a bit confusing, so I'm gonna let you guys know how this works. So, cat names. I had no idea there's cartography involved. I told you I prepared, okay? Cat names have two parts to them. First part and the second part. The first part is unique from birth. Shadow Kit as an example. You could be Melon Kit or Spotted Kit or something like that. But when you're born, they all end in Kit. Kits are born in the nursery and they're under 6 months old. When they get 6 months, they turn into an apprentice. An apprentice has Paw at the end of their last name. So they'll be Shadow Paw, Night Paw, Spotted Paw, Gift Sub Paw, etc. And they train to become a warrior or a medicine cat under the current medicine cat or a warrior. So a warrior will train their apprentice. Once they pass their training and pass their test, they turn into a warrior. Then the second half of their name can change and usually has something to do with how they are. So example, in the books, Fire Paw becomes Fire Heart because he has a big heart. Yep, that's it. Birch Tail, something like that. Russet Fur, Shadow Prime, exactly. Cucumber Salad, etc. Warriors' job is to feed and protect the clan, and they mentor their apprentices. They're like the majority of the clan people. There's also a medicine cat. Each clan has one, and they're like the people that heal and do prophecies with Star Clan and stuff like that. The deputy is a warrior that is like lieutenant, so he's second in command. He or she second in command to the leader. And elders are warriors that are too old to hunt, and they just stay at camp. The last step up from a warrior is the leader. They get star at the end of their name. So Fire Heart becomes Fire Star. I would be Shadow Star because I am the leader of us. Their word is law, so they might say something that people don't really like or is not normal for their clan, but because they were elected by Star Clan to be the leader, whatever they say goes. And they're given 9 lives. Thank you, Shadow Star. You're welcome. So when they die, they come back until they have 9 of them. Okay? Jort Stars, that's kind of cool. Again, thank you, Soda P, for this picture. I think it's Tiger Claw, but I don't know. We will now go in depth to the family tree of Fisses of ThunderClan in the books. Starting with Fire at the top. I'm just kidding, we're not going through it. But this is legit all of, like, the cats in like, the first couple books. I'm not kidding. There's even Shadow Clan now. I just want to make this because it has a good fan base, okay? Yeah, so each book, when you buy, like, the books, they have at the front, they have, like, an appendix of who's in who, in what clan. Okay. Lastly, a bit of... Yeah, okay, lastly. Someone can tell Rabs he's going to be up in a couple minutes. So this is a glossary. These words are going to be popping up in the presentation and in the roleplay. So just so you know what they all mean. Feels like dog people are weird. Yeah, I do. So fresh kill is what the cats go out to hunt. It's the prey that they bring in, what everyone eats. So recently killed prey animal caught for the purpose of consumption. Fresh kill is hunted by warriors and apprentices, and sometimes elders, but rarely, and is placed on the fresh kill pile or brought to the elders. So there's like a pile in the middle of the camp where they just bring in all their dead stuff. A kitty pet, as I said, is a domesticated pet cat. A loner is a cat that lives by itself and doesn't defend its territory. Loners usually have names like Leaf. They don't have the warrior names. Grand School fan of sends regards. Thank you, Bubba. A two-leg is a person. A monster is a vehicle operated by humans, normally a car, but it could be anything. And monsters drive on the Thunder Path. Cats. Cloudy Cats, thanks for the sub. The Thunder Path is what we would call a road and is a paved section that has an acrid smell. So the books always call it acrid, which is why I know the word acrid is because of warriors. Thank you, Aaron Hunter. A moon is 1 month. It's how they tell time and how they say age. So you'll hear a lot of people describing themselves as like a certain moon old. So that just means months. Remember, apprentices are 6 months, 6 moons. Thanks for the sub. Mouse dung is a somewhat harsh insult comparing the recipient to mouse feces. This one's important because this will be somebody's only line. Please look forward to that. Richie, thank you for gifting a sub to Aaron Hunter. Yes, someone who, that I've asked to come speak, their only line is mouse dung. And Star Clan is the deceased warrior ancestors of the clans who live on in spirit form after dying, watch over the living clan cats, and they talk to them. So actually, some little cool info in case you didn't know this, but the leaders, when they have 9 lives, each one of them is given to them by a deceased member of the clan in Star Clan. So each life they have is given to them by like one of their friends and then has like a connection there. Okay. I am going to change form. Hello. I am Nightwish. And I'm gonna... Oh, Ravs is here. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the script. This thread is called Can't Think of a Title. Teehee. It's actually Darkwish. I'm sorry. I'm so nervous. Can you tell? Hello?
Meow.
You look so good.
Hello.
Wow,
yeah,
so handsome.
Is it working? I did
I'm
it.
cringing
I set up
already.
the VTuber.
Yeah,
thing
it looks amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff.
Okay. So, do you know anything about warriors? Should I give up any?
Yeah, I don't know anything about warriors. If you could run it down for me and also explain when you wrote this and why you wrote this.
Okay, so if you want a full in-depth explanation of the plot, you can come watch my VOD because I already did that. I'll give you a quick rundown.
Okay.
So we are cats in Shadow Clan. So Shadow Clan is one of the 4 clans. We're in the forest.
Is your name based off of this? Oh my god, it is.
No, it's not. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. And I wrote online around age 12 to 14, maybe even 15.
All right.
In this fandom and also other fandoms, I did some anime stuff as well. And it's super cringy. It's really cringy, but I think it helped me improve my writing and built my creativity. So
like, what kind of accent do these cats have?
Yeah. It takes place in North America, but you can do whatever accent you like. I'm not gonna lie, there is a cat later that someone wrote with a Scottish accent that I was gonna give to you, but I thought that was insensitive.
That is insensitive, yeah.
So I gave it to one of my mods.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So you have your script, but you have not seen my lines. So I hope.
So how am I going to? Are you going to have a line between each of my lines?
Yeah. So I start, and then you read your one, and then when that's done, I'll read mine. So this
Okay.
one has 2 pages, and I started with it because I think it's funny because your cat flirts with mine.
Oh.
So,
I didn't read my script. I didn't know that.
it's okay. It's really funny.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Right.
I'm gonna start, and then I'll tell you when I'm over, when I'm done. Okay?
Okay.
Darkwish narrowed her eyes against the cold wind. She was sitting in a tall pine tree, about halfway up, looking out over ShadowClan territory. She could see warriors on patrol, the monsters roaring down the thunderpath. That means cars driving down the street. And her
Right.
clan's camp in the distance. The freezing leaf-bare air swept across the swampy terrain, chilling Darkwish to the bone. She shivered and smiled. Okay, it's your turn.
A blue-grey tom known as Griffin Talon was steady on the ground. The tom pounced for the mouse he had been tracking for a minute, but as he grasped the mouse, his claws suddenly sheathed in, causing the tom to lose his precious prey. He scowled to himself. His disability has always made him loose prey, even as a rogue, but now he was a clan cat that belonged to the Shadow Clan. He looked up at the she-cat in one of the pine trees and he wondered out loud. Hold on, I'm trying to think of an accent here. Okay. Did she see me loose that mouse?
Wow!
Is that what you
Darkwish.
imagined in your head?
Yeah, that was great. Darkwish
Hey.
smirked at the tom as he missed his mouse. She stood and looked down at him from her spot in the trees. I see everything, she said with a dark smile, playing on her lips. Your turn.
Everything apparently except the fact it's freezing up there, Griffin Talon replied. Something didn't seem right with this she-cat. She seemed like a crazy he'd find on the streets, but he couldn't help but lightly laugh as he leaped on the she-cat's branch. Mind if I join ya? The blue-grey said as shivers went up his back.
Slightly, Darkwish said, leaping to the branch beside where Griffin Talon was perched. She looked at him, a mischievous glint in her eye. Aren't you cold? She asked, grinning.
Not really, but then again, I guess I am a little cold, but I can handle it, Griffin Talon said. He wondered why the she-cat was acting like she was going to do something, but living on the streets had him ready for anything.
Wow, you're so edgy. Darkwish nodded. I see. I hate the heat, so I hang out in the trees. Up there, the cold wind blows. She half smiled and winked at the tom. Then abruptly, she turned and jumped to the next tree. Then the next, and the next. Soon she was running from tree to tree. She stopped and slowed her breathing, and waited to see if Griffin Talon would follow.
Griffin Talon sighed. Then he was soon bouncing off tree to tree easily. His breathing didn't get faster. In fact, his breathing slowed into deep breaths until he was the only one branch behind the dark-colored feline. Can't get rid of me that easily. My name's Griffin Talon. And you's? The blue-grey tom said as he smiled.
Darkwish bowed slightly. Darkwish, she smiled at him. You're pretty good at up in the trees. Not easy to find a ShadowClan cat, that is. I like you, she said coolly, winking at the tom.
Griffin Talon half smiled. I nearly did that in my fucking New York accent. Griffin Talon half smiled. He liked the cats with Darkwish's personality, being the kind of cat he is. He replied with, "You're not bad yourself," Griffin Talon said back. Darkwish. Nice name. Griffin Talon thought to himself as he jumped onto Darkwish's branch.
Darkwish snickered and jumped away from Griffin Talon onto another branch. She did her best sweet smile, something Darkwish did very seldomly, and slipped backwards off the branch. She grinned as the air rushed around her as she fell. Darkwish spun mid-air and landed on her feet in the snow. She ran up and sat on the lowest branch of the nearest tree and shook the snow off of herself. She grinned up at Griffin Talon.
Don't think you'll get away from me that easily, eh? Griffin Talon snickered as he jumped from the branch to the tree trunk from a neighboring tree and leaped back and forward from tree trunk to tree trunk. Then, right before reaching the snow, Griffin Talon did a mighty leap that sent him straight into Darkwish's branch.
She cocked an eyebrow at him. Impressive. Darkwish looked up at the sky as a small flake of snow landed on her nose. She sneezed and narrowed her eyes. I love the cold. Hate the snow. Out of character, I wrote, speaking of snow, we got 80 centimeters of snow here last night.
Nice. Out of character, I'm reading, man, I'm missing
got
out
now,
down
don't
there.
look
We
at
didn't even
me.
get a flick of snow. In character, Griffin Talon laughed. Ironic, isn't it? Griffin Talon said, as he had never had this much fun since
That's
he was a
making
kid.
me miss the quality.
Griffin Talon stuck out his paw to catch a snowflake. It was cold as it was white. Instantly it melted.
I said, out of character. Haha, we get lost up here in Canada. Not lost. Not lots, but I said lost.
Wait, were you like doing a diary while writing?
Yeah, I was like talking about how much snow it is and telling him what it's like in Canada. I think I liked this
Okay.
guy. Anyway, Darkwish's tail flicked behind her. So, now what? She asked, getting a little bored. Step it up.
Griffin Talon didn't pay attention to Darkwish's words as he spotted a mouse on a neighboring branch. The rodent looked as if it was mocking him on Griffin Talon's failed catch earlier, so the Tom quickly got on a pouncing postation and sprang on the mouse and killed the rodent easily. You want to share? Griffin Talon said, coming back onto the branch with the mouse at hand.
Darkwish shook her head, smiling. I'll catch my own, she said, walking into the thick underbrush. There weren't many animals around. After a few minutes, Darkwish spotted a crow perching on a low branch. She climbed a tree across from the crow and got ready to leap. Darkwish pounced onto the crow and bit its neck as she climbed down and sat beside Griffin Talon. She glanced at him and took a juicy bite out of the bird.
Griffin Talon rolled his eyes as Darkwish took a bite out of her catch and ate his mouse in one bite.
Darkwish finished her fresh kill quickly and looked up at the sky. The snow was falling faster and thicker now. Darkwish shook the snow off her pelt and huddled under a juniper bush. Darkwish hated the snow.
Griffin Talon chuckled. He went under the juniper bush. So what's your story? Griffin Talon asked.
And then 3 weeks later, I replied and said, sorry, it's been a while. I've been really sick. Darkwish looked up at the dark, cloudy sky. Not a great one. I grew up in Shadow Clan, never had a forbidden love, don't have any secret abilities, not planning to assassinate a leader. She shrugged. I'm just your regular she-cat.
Out of character, you wrote, too bad, I'm just getting over a cold myself.
Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway, Griffin Talon was surprised at the quick summary of Darkwish, but at least it covered everything, the Tom sighed, and told his quick story too. Long story short, I was a born rogue, almost trained to death, became a Shadow Clan. I don't know why I suddenly am doing this accent. At a little over 6 moons, and have a ruthless father who wants to kill me both mentally and physically, Griffin Talon said in a hurry.
Darkwish nodded, her lips pursed. Sounds fun. Who's your father?
The blue-grey Tom wanted to chuckle a better question. Would be to him what his dad was. A ruthless, black, sleek loner and murderer, basically. Griffin Talon... Oh, that was a line. A ruthless, black, sleek loner and murderer, basically. Griffin Talon said. No one had ever asked him that before, but he always remembered a quick summary about all cats he had met, as he thinks it may come to use later, and so Darkwish shaved a lot of trouble for her own summary.
What is this? Wait, is it you again? Oh, yeah, it's you again. I didn't
Was it me
reply.
again?
I didn't reply, and you sent another message a week later.
Okay. But he was my father, and I followed him everywhere until he pushed me away. He was my everything. I took cuts, fights, name-calling, and then my... Griffin Talon gulped as he hated getting emotional. My mother and my brother. Griffin Talon wanted to put his head down in grief and sadness, but he didn't want to push Darkwish away. Then he shook his head, trying to get on a better note.
And I replied on Christmas Eve. I was doing this on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Darkwish dropped her gaze to her paws. I'm so sorry. She tried to put emotion into those words, something she rarely did. Darkwish twitched her tail and winked at him. But you have no need to worry now. I'll protect you. She smirked, trying to lighten Griffin Talon's mood.
Griffin Talon smiled, and he in return gave Darkwish a lick on the cheek. Gee, thanks, Darkwish, Griffin Talon said. If a cat could cross his claws, he would have had. This day to him was like reliving a kithood that he never would get back. If only he could live like this every day. But now, as he realizes his lovey-dovey actions, he just hoped he wouldn't get clawed on.
Darkwish flinched back at his touch and glared at him. What was that? She asked, her voice shrill. She saw his expression and her gaze softened a pinch. Darkwish lowered her head and smirked at Griffin Talon. Sorry, I'm not really used to cats talking to me, let alone... She looked him in the eyes. Liking me. She rested her tail on his shoulder and winked. Don't worry, I won't bite you. There's only a couple left. Don't worry.
I've read ahead.
Don't read ahead. Don't read ahead.
Okay. Griffin Talon smiled and in return put his tail on Darkwish's shoulders. He felt like the luckiest cat in the world. He couldn't even reply to Darkwish's words. When the blue-grey Tom could finally find his voice again, all he could say was, "Gee, thanks, Darkwish." Then, I'm adding the G and the A's, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Then he nuzzled the she-cat much more comfortably that he wouldn't get a paw in the face.
Darkwish flinched again at the Tom's embrace. This was so foreign to her. She tried to stay put as Griffin Talon nuzzled her, but it was hard. She definitely had strong feelings for this Tom. She knew. But this was a little uncomfortable. Darkwish stepped away from the Tom and glanced at him. I'm sorry. I'm just not the fuzzy snuggle kind of she-cat. Nothing personal.
It's okay. Sorry, I'm the cuddling type. Wait, sorry, I'm the cuddling type. Either that or was kind of strange for me, I guess. Griffin Talon replied. The silver-grey Tom liked this she-cat so much. She was the loners at his old home. They'll protect ya, but anything snuggle-buggle, and they'll claw your ears off. To the Tom, it was a miracle she didn't ran off.
Great grammar. Darkwish winked at Griffin Talon. No worries, she chuckled. She turned and raced up a nearby tree and perched on the lowest branch. She neatly dodged the powdery white snow that fell from the branches above her and began to groom herself. She stopped and stared down at the Tom. So, Mr. Snuggles. She stuck her tongue out at him with humor in her eyes. What now?
Griffin Talon wanted to blush, understanding Darwish's humor. Darkwish.
Darkwish, but the K isn't there.
Yeah, Darwish's humor. Well, Mrs. Heights, I'm not sure. The blue-grey Tom yawned. Then Griffin Talon stretched himself out. Then suddenly, the Tom raced up the tree, all the Darkwish's branch. All the two Darkwish's branch.
Darkwish cocked an eyebrow at the Tom as she landed beside her. Quite the jump, she smirked. Impressive. And that was the final message sent. And scene!
Clap. Wow, that was very nice.
That was really good. We,
yeah.
It said that I had really strong feelings for the Tom that I'd literally met, like, 2 minutes before.
Yep, that's a fast
the dramatic
cat times.
The dramatic backstory.
Yep. Oh
Perfect.
man, it was really dramatic.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much,
dramatic.
Griffin Talon.
No problem
Ravs.
at all. Darkwish. Good luck with the rest of this.
Thanks. I had a great stream.
I hope you don't die.
I won't. I
Yeah.
hope.
Good luck.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for the subs. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Who's next? I think next is OC. Yes, next up is OC and okay, one sec. I have to change. Don't look. Brief intermission while I change who I am. Okay, one sec. So, unfortunately, OC couldn't record. So she sent me or she couldn't be here, so she sent me a recording. Thank you for the hydrate. I am dying. Hello, I'm Sunflash of also Shadow Clan. He is described as being very happy and uppity and in a great mood all the time. And OC is playing the role of Poppysuckle. Poppysuckle was played by Mintbird on Blue and Leaf, and they had 9,000 posts. For reference, I had 800 posts. This person had 9,000. Poppysuckle is the name. Okay, I don't have art for her because I do have art, but actually, yeah, I'll put it on screen. Poppy. I don't have reactive art because I only have a recording. Roleplay reading, cat tubers. She is playing Poppysuckle. Okay. Cat tubers. Yes, cat tubers. Okay. Let me grab the audio. I need the audio and the script. Okay. This one's much shorter. I think the longest one is the one with Ravs and the one with Sarah. Also, I had no idea how long this was going to take, so to Sarah and Melon, I'm sorry if this goes really late. Okay. Here is... let me turn up the volume. Here is OC.
The emaciated she-cat lay in the grass. Dew covered her once beautiful pelt. Her green eyes opened and she gazed around. Poppysuckle fell back, her eyes closing. Some cats had to come around soon, right?
Emaciated. Yeah, it's sad. Oh yeah, this thread is called Help, Find Me, or I'll Die Again. Can I turn up OC? Yes. Okay. Sunflash woke from his mid-afternoon nap. His legs were a little stiff, so he decided to go hunting for a bit. He walked into the forest and instantly scented mouse. He saw and lightly snuck up behind it. Sunflash quickly killed it, buried it for later. As he continued walking with his jaw parted, he scented for another cat. Being the curious cat he was, he peeked around a bush to see who it was. There, lying in the grass, panting, was Poppystorm. I wrote Poppystorm instead of Poppysuckle, even though I just read Poppysuckle in a message before this. He said, "Whoa! What's that? Are you okay?" Written in all caps. He ran back and got his fresh kill. "Here, eat this!" Sunflash said quickly.
Poppysuckle immediately gave a weak smile as she gobbled up the prey. She smiled at him. "Thank you. I'm Poppysuckle. I know you probably don't recognize me. I was captured by rogues a few moons ago."
Grumbled. Sunflash blushed with embarrassment. "Well, of course I recognize you," he blurted out. "I mean, who wouldn't know you? You're Poppysuckle after all." Sunflash said quickly. He looked at the injured she-cat. "Oh, I'm sorry. I talk a lot. You see, there's so much to talk about. The sky, the plants, the prey." Sunflash took a breath. "Right," he said. "You're injured. Oh my. I'll I'll go get some herbs. He turned and walked a little into the forest, but staying close to Poppysuckle. Rabs, thank you so much for the raid. And thank you for reading. I hope you enjoyed. We are doing a reading right now with Poppysuckle and Sunflash. My immersion? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm just really weak. One of those rogues let me go. Poppysuckle meowed, standing up weakly. Sure, she had no flesh wounds.
Sunflash ran back. No, don't stand up. He looked at the she-cat. Sit, he said briskly.
Poppysuckle froze mid-stand and sat back down, looking at the tom and then at her caved-in belly. Yep, she was starved.
Sunflash leaned against the beautiful she-cat. Come on, I've got to get you to camp. Is this OC? Yeah, she recorded. Because she couldn't be here. He started walking quickly, trying to support the thin she-cat. Sunflash ran to the freshkill pile, grabbed a crow, and ran back to Poppysuckle. Here, I gotta go. Sorry, he said and ran towards the great oak, leaving the lone she-cat behind. Out of character, I wrote, sorry for leaving all of a sudden. I just got an apprentice and she started a thread, so I have to go. What is it? She's doing an amazing documentary? Because she put in effort, reps. I'm just kidding. Because she had to record. Yeah, so I told this person that I can't participate. Well, I'm kidding. You were amazing. I was joking. You were flawless. So what happened was I got an apprentice and I started another roleplay thread and I told this person that I couldn't do this thread anymore when her cat was dying.
Poppysuckle watched him go, startled. Whoa, he just left.
Out of character, they wrote, you're allowed to be in a normal thread and a training thread with an apprentice at the same time. And then I just never replied again.
Oh hey, I'm Poppysuckle. Been a few moons since I was here last. Some rogues captured me, but one of them let me go. The emaciated she-cat mewed. She had no idea she was pregnant.
And that's the last message in the thread. I just left. And she tried to like coax me back or something, I don't know. Left her to die, yeah. And then the last message was, she had no idea she was pregnant. Okay. Thank you, OC. Next up, we have Sarah, which requires me to go to a different scene and costume change. I will meet you in that Discord, Sarah. I just have to change my clothes. Okay. So this one, I play two cats. So I have one when I'm sitting and one when I'm talking. I mean, in terms of... wait. In terms of VTuber. So you can see both of them. Sorry, I have to cough. One sec. Oh, also, this one it requires a bit more explanation. Oh wait, where's the mountain? It's fine. We'll be here. This one requires a bit more explanation because this one doesn't take place in the clans. This one takes place in the Tribe of Burning Eclipse. So there are also tribes in these books where they are similar cats, but they're slightly different. And their names are long names. So, for example, my two cats are named Night That Shines Brightly and Day of Many Shadows. But the cats in the books that are in the clans will truncate their names. So the Night That Shines Brightly is known as Night Shine, and the Day of Many Shadows is called Day Shadow. Sarah is playing a loner, and she's also playing a cat who is a loner, who is like not in the clans. A bit of lore here, a bit of background info. So I said I had 800 posts. The person that OC voiced had 9,000. The person that Sarah is voicing had 26,874 posts, and in their profile said that they were a 23-year-old like grad student. This is relevant because this person is an absolute know-it-all. You will see what I mean. But yeah, okay. So I'm playing two cats. I'm playing Day Shadow and Night Shine. And this is both of them. Hello. Day Shadow is the ginger and white. Night Shine is the black and white. Okay. Let's join Annie and Drake. Okay. I have to move Sarah into the voice call. One sec. Discord, please! Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I muted the stream. I'm here. I have a cat. I'm ready.
You look amazing.
Oh, thanks. You too.
Oh, thank you. This one is a bit long.
That's okay. I'm excited.
And because I wanted to act smart, we wrote in like paragraphs. So
Okay.
this might take a while.
That is okay.
But you are a Warrior Cat fan, right? Did you read these books growing up?
Yeah, it must have been like way back in the day because my memories, like you were going through the presentation and I was like, I do not remember any of this. Like the Lake era was past my time, I think. Like that was when I stopped reading them.
Okay, so you're a first two series gal.
I'm a normie, Warrior Cat normie, comparatively.
I think that's an okay thing to be.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I was laughing and laughing away though when Ravs and OC were going. Oh my god.
Good, I'm glad. All right. Well, this is the last one before we take a little break, so take it away and you start. So go for it.
Okay. Here I go. It's hard to be inconspicuous when you're 230-pound bright silver predator, particularly when the leaves had all turned brilliant shades of gold and crimson and orange that seemed to mock him as they drifted down from the treetops. Raiden glared at a nearby pile of autumn foliage and swiped them with his forepaw, promptly finding him enveloped in a pile of drifting color. He huffed and glared deeper, golden eyes narrowing. Yeah, Ray, like that's really gonna help, he muttered to himself. He watched a pair of deer bound away with an annoying sort of grace. Stupid cervids, he growled, watching the white tails bob up and down before disappearing behind a shelf of rock. His stomach rumbled, and with a disgusted flick of his silver tail, which had a black tip like any other cougar, though there was not a scrap of then normal tawny color on him, he carried on. His jaws parted, teeth flashing white, trying to pick up a scent. He wondered if even a rabbit might evade him today. Do I still go?
I like that you said stupid cervids instead of deer.
Yeah, I know. What is a cervid? I was like, what is that? A deer, apparently.
All right.
Is it still me?
Do you have should have just stayed home, or is that not there?
Oh, that's there. I don't know. When do you go? Sorry.
I'll go after you do that line.
Okay, fabulous. Okay. Should have just stayed home. He carried on through the forest mountain, the colored leaves crunching under his large paws.
Okay. Night that shines brightly trudged slowly after his sister. Nightshine sighed. Day of many shadows was always in the lead. She thinks I'm useless, he thought. As Day Shadow was walking, she heard her brother mumble behind her. She stopped and turned around. Are you trying to scare away all the prey? She hissed angrily, not trying to raise her temper. Nightshine apologized quickly and lowered his head. Satisfied, Dayshadow turned and continued walking. As she scanned the area for prey, she spotted a silver flicker in the bushes. Dayshadow stopped abruptly and swore under her breath. I said I'm sorry, her brother moaned. She turned again to face him. Shut up, you moron! Look! She hissed again, pointing with her tail to where she saw a flash of silver. Dayshadow saw her brother's eyes grow huge. Oh, fox dung, he said. Go ahead.
Okay. This is OOC. What outstanding signatures you've got. Did you make those? LOL. My boy has never encountered domestic cats before. P.
Domestic cats.
Okay. Raiden's black-backed ears twitched as he heard the urgent hissed words of, "Shut up, you moron," a short distance from him. Suspicions raised the hackles along his back, and a growl rumbled almost soundless in his deep chest. He swung his head towards where the voices came from. Could they be young cougars? They certainly hadn't sounded like cub voices, but surely they were too small-sounding for adults. Though they didn't sound anything like cougars he knew, maybe the accents were different in this region. And without warning, his leg muscled, bunched, and he backed up 2 steps. He sprang into the air, and low branches and fronds that were in his way snapped off like tiny twigs. He landed almost silently, having covered 15 feet in a single leap, and swung to face 2 tiny little felines, even smaller than the cougar cubs he had doubtfully pictured. Puzzlement crossed his features. Am I asleep? He brought his large, dark silver face eye for a better look at the pair.
And I said, thanks for saying my signatures are good. No, I didn't make them. Charlie did. With no link to who Charlie is. I just said Charlie made them.
Oh, Charlie.
Nightshine's eyes widened even bigger, but he said nothing. Dayshadow turned around, confused. But as soon as she did, she was no longer confused about what had scared her brother. Dayshadow laid back, her ears and eyes growled at the huge thing. Don't know how that works. What is that, she thought. The huge feline spoke, and Dayshadow heard a thump behind her. She turned and saw her brother lying on the ground, out cold. Dayshadow turned to face the beast again. What did you do to him? She hissed. You're up.
Then OOC says, roars with laughter. Ha 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 ha. Oh, the poor thing. And then it says, pets night that shines brightly.
Yep. in asterisks. Pets here. Rar.
LMAO XD. Okay. Continue. His body responded instantly to the growl and the demand. Unthinking, he mimicked her own post. The dark ears laid against the lighter silver head, his lips pulled back, then his jaws parted, showing ever one of his gleaming white teeth. The snarl that escaped him was feral and high-pitched, and though there was no spoken word within the growl, it was a fairly universal back-off warning. I did nothing, he insisted in a steely voice. One part of him wondered if the small cat had been as startled as he himself was at seeing him. Maybe he was as unused to cats his size as Raiden was in return.
Night that shines brightly groaned as he opened his eyes. He fainted. How embarrassing, he thought, blushing. Dayshadow looked behind at her brother and saw that he was fine. She rolled her eyes and looked back to the huge feline. This thing was huge and scary, too. Dayshadow didn't think she could fight this thing. She could understand its words, though. Maybe she could talk her way out of it? Dayshadow nodded slightly and puffed up her chest. I apologize. I see Nightshine merely fainted from shock. Please excuse me for being rude. I'm such a moron, she thought. This thing is a predator, and I'm being nice to it. I should just claw his ears right off.
Raiden curled his upper lip a bit. This little feline spoke like a fully grown cat, so it must be. The cougars around here must be the size. They'd certainly seem shocked enough to see him if the male's response was anything to go by. He took a quick step forward, bringing his head closer to the female. And of your rudeness, what should be done about that? he growled softly. Oh, softly? What should be done about that? Lifting one paw and letting the claws slide out.
That's scary.
It is scary. I'm
Day-
scary.
Day Shadow hissed at Ray. Nightshine was now fully recovered and standing right by his sister's side. Day of Many Shadows smiled and tapped her tail against Night that shines brightly legs 3 times. Easy to follow. Nightshine nodded. Since these two were prey hunters, they made silent codes for when they saw prey. This one's meaning, I'll go first. Day Shadow smiled again, this time releasing a loud hiss. She unsheathed her claws and pounced at the huge feline, blood roaring in her ears. Her brother not far behind. They were born to fight and take down prey. And then out of character brackets, I wrote, feel free to hurt my cats. Just nothing fatal, please, XD.
Feel free to hurt my cats. Oh my god. And then in OOC, my person said, being fairly much 15 times smaller than him, I would advise after a few moves they run to avoid injury, since you, and me, don't want them fatally hurt. But Raiden would have other ideas.
Thank you, so kind.
Okay, and then it continues. The silver cougar parted his jaws and let out a single blood-curdling screech. Wow! As the female dived towards him. So, they were stupid as well as rude, these little cats. His own predator instinct snapped in, and he swiped a paw, not bothering to extend the claws, at Dayshadow. Blunt force would be enough. A hit was sure to damage her. His long, black-tipped tail lashed as he whirled to meet the male cat, ready for his attempt.
I said, maybe that these cats are small. Remember, they are prey hunters. Sure, eagles are a bit smaller than cougars, but they totally aren't defenseless. Which is a totally good argument.
Yeah. And
Day
then...
And then I died.
yo.
Day Shadow
You
swore
died?
as she hit the ground. She turned and looked at her brother, but a trickle of blood was making her vision fuzzy. She saw the huge cat turn and get ready to attack her brother as she screamed at Nightshine, "Watch out!" Day Shadow lunged at Ray as he turned to Nightshine. At camp, Nightshine was a shy weakling, but in battle, he was a true warrior. Extending his claws, he tried to rake his paws down the cougar's muzzle as his sister attacked from behind.
And then, out of character, they can put up a bit of a fight, but realistically, 2 regular cats don't stand any chance against a cougar, even if they are prey hunters. What's this about being eagles, though? I thought they were cats. What? Eagles? Okay, well, let's continue.
Go for it.
Eagles? Okay. I'm confused, but I will continue onward. Raiden was prepared for the male's attack, and he easily moved his head up out of reach of Nightshine. That sneaky female was behind him now, though. He realized this when he felt her claws nick his hind legs. He kicked backwards to keep her at bay, then snaked his head down and tried to snap at Nightshine.
I said out of character, so I'm just saying that they hunt eagles. LOL, smiley face. So I was just trying to make them sound cool. I don't know.
I see.
In character, I went, Nightshine fell clumsily against the ground. He was just standing up as the cougar lashed out at him, but Nightshine was too slow. He yelled in pain as Ray bit his leg. Dayshadow smiled as she attacked the huge cat. Then she saw her brother go down. She yelped and ran over to him. Dayshadow whipped around and faced Ray, crying. She already lost so much, not Nightshine too. Please, stop, she managed. Dayshadow went to her hunter's crouch. I won't let you hurt him, she cried.
And then out of character, I say, oh, I understand now. It's been a while since I read over the series. And then Raiden looked at the dark Tom lying on the ground and felt a twinge of remorse. This was a cat no bigger to him than a good-sized rabbit. He was not of his kind. Yet it felt strange to have prey reasoning with him like this. But his anger was still roused, and he extended a paw so it was right in front of Dayshadow's face, with the claws out, so she could see just how big he was in comparison to her. You begin a fight, then beg your opponent not to continue because you're outmatched. Are all cats your size so irrational?
Dayshadow narrowed her eyes and hissed, then she thought better of it. Around here, we are the predators. You are just another piece of prey to us, but clearly we are at your mercy, she said, pointing her tail at Nightshine.
He actually laughed darkly at that. Ha ha ha. him, prey, his kind, the supreme hunters of every terrain there was, fearing no creature, and these tiny felines thought of him as prey. His paw remained raised, the threat clear. He was debating whether, spelled like the weather outside, or not to kill them. One blow could have ended the male, but it didn't seem all that sporting, hitting him when he was already down. Be glad I've eaten recently, he growled at the female, gathered his muscles, and them disappeared. In an effort, it was simply another massive leap, taking him right over the siblings' heads. Then the silver coat flashed in the trees, and Raiden was gone.
Dayshadow let out her breath. She quickly turned to her injured brother. Are you all right, Knight? Come, let's get you back to the tribe. Nightshine stood unsteadily, and his sister slid next to him to help support him. Slowly but surely, the two tribe cats wobbled back to the tribe of Burning Eclipse. And scene!
Yeah!
That was great! You did great!
Oh my god, thank you. That was fun. What a silly little story.
He thought he was so smart and so cool, but he spelled weather wrong. So screw that guy.
He spelled weather wrong, and he also said, actually, I thought that they were cats, not eagles.
And this guy was like 23, and I was like 12, and he was like, actually, they're called servants, and I haven't read the books in forever, but you're doing it wrong.
Oh, dear Lord in heaven above. Oh
but
my
you
gosh.
you did great as Raiden. So thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I had a blast. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Clap for Sarah, chat. And I'll catch you some other time. Hope you enjoy stream if you stick around.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You
Welcome.
too. Best of luck with the rest.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was great. Also, yes, there are two cats because this is Nightshine and this is Dayshadow. All right. I will go back to this. Ah! I won't do that. I'll do this. It's fine. Okay. We're gonna take a little break from reading to keep you interested. And to give me a bit of a reprieve. Can we ask questions? You can ask questions now if you'd like. The only other one that's live is Melon, and I think he has degen hours, so like we're not on a schedule. I hope you're all enjoying it. Are there any questions? So these characters in the book, or is it a bunch of people's OCs in the same setting? It's in the same setting. So all the ones that I'm reading are my characters, and the people that other people are reading are written by other people. They're not written by me. But they're in like the same world. Also, I was joking. We still will be quite speedy, but we're gonna take a little break. What's Apprentice and why did you have one? Well, if you were here earlier. So, oh my goodness. PowerPoint, please. PowerPoint, please. So, apprentices are 6 months old and they're training under a warrior. So they're like being mentored by a warrior and in order to become a warrior in the tribe. And they all have paw at the end of their name. And actually, we're going to talk about one of them, actually. So here, we're going to go through all of these. Actually, we'll do it in order, and I will, what's your apprentice's name? Silent Paw. We'll get to that. Any other questions? I understand that your questions will be answered in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. Yes. What website you're on? Freeforms, DeviantArt, Gay Online. I was on Tumblr, and I was on Blue and Leaf, which turned into Feral Front. Look at Nightshine, yes. Will there be a test? No. This is just context. These are the clans. This is the map. I did MLA citations. This is a family tree of the characters in the books, but we didn't go into that. How does Sky Clan work in all this? It's out on the map. Man, you don't even want to hear about SkyClan, man. They're like crazy, man. They're like wild, man. So there used to be 5 clans, but SkyClan got separated and they lived somewhere else and they like slowly disintegrated. But Firestar, on his quest with Squirrelflight, found some loner cats that were descendants of SkyClan living in the area but not in a clan. And they slowly rebuilt SkyClan and taught them about their roots, and they introduced SkyClan back into the lake territories and gave them a camp. Yeah. So, part of why ThunderClan, please stop. Hey, Derp Snazzy, this is my stream. I appreciate the joke of saying it's lame, but to consistently and repeatedly say please stop, it's kind of annoying. Thanks. So ThunderClan is sometimes seen as weak because they let in loners and kitty pets, and then they allowed SkyClan to take part of their territory, so that's why they're kind of like a little bit weak. But we have some out-of-character stuff. So this is stuff that I've just taken from other posts, not threads that are featured today. Or like descriptions of my cats. So this is all out of character. I told people, I said, yawn, let's make this a little more interesting, ... because I was, yeah. I said you always spell scent wrong, XD, because they did, and I was making fun of them. We were fighting, and there's something called power playing. Power playing is when you describe what happens in a fight. So I'd be like, I jump on you and I bite you and I hurt you. They have to consent and say that that's okay and allow their cat. You can only write your people being injured. You can't write yourself injuring others, if that makes sense. And all about power play. So like, you god modding, yeah. So like, I couldn't say in a fight that I was winning, but this person kept dodging every time, and I was like, dude, you can't dodge every time. That's what that's from. Here, I said, so I'm going to stop posting until Frostfeather comes back so I don't flood. Flood is when you type a lot when someone's gone and you flood the thread. And I said, oh, and is it okay if I kill one of your cats? Because I had to ask permission. So I asked permission to kill one. And then one of my threads got flooded. And I said, sorry, I didn't see the last 5 pages. Sorry, I didn't know what happened. Please stop flooding or I'll kill your characters. LOL JK. Yeah, this is where the ... smiley comes from. That my community likes to do. We're on a break. We are on a break. We are on a break. LOL JK, unless. These are descriptions of my cats. So when you make a cat, you have to do you have to make a profile. You have to write their age, their name, what clan they're in, what their role is, appearance, personality, and history. And they had to be approved by moderators on the forum. So you couldn't just start role-playing. You had to, essentially apply. And I would always describe my cats as clever and sly. Sorry, this is my downtime. I'm drinking water. So I said, I think this is Darkwish. Very clever, quiet, and sly. She's also very clever and sly and a little dark. So Darkwish, it always keeps her cool and is very clever and sly. I don't remember who was very cold and quiet. Her attitude and her heart. Wait, her heart and her attitude are as cold and sharp as her eyes. She's very clever, cunning, and sly. So I had Nightwish, I had Nightshine, Darkwish, I had Dark Flare. As a sly character, she's often alone, either because she wants to, or others don't like her. Yep. Very dark. You sense a theme? Yeah, and my current name is Shadow at Noon. Noon Shadow definitely wasn't one of my cats. Definitely not one of my cats. Personality, Nightlight. Oh, yeah. So I had 2 cats named Nightlight and Lightbright. They were brother and sister, Nightlight and Lightbright. I didn't include any of their Definitely. Yeah, I didn't. I always wanted definitely. I didn't include any of their threads. But those are the names: Nightlight, and Lightbright. Nightlight is emo and very pessimistic. He hates you and everything else, and he moans a lot. And several times I started my own threads that weren't warrior cats, that were like my own world, and I was like, hey guys, do you guys want to like roleplay in my own universe? I did like an elemental high school one, and I did like a fantasy one, and this is the start of, and people like never replied, right? Like, because I was just no one. So this time I wrote one and I said, okay, time to sound professional so people actually join my thread for once, cough cough. Just so you know, this is set in medieval times, so castles and stuff. And I don't think anyone ever replied. ... smiley face. The next page. This is one of the funniest things to me that I've ever done. So this was a Pokemon Gijinka. Do you guys know what a Gijinka is? Or do I have to explain that? A Gijinka? No? Pokemon Gijinka are human forms of Pokemon. So like Bulbasaur. Like this. Okay? Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. So I roleplayed in a Pokemon Gijinka thread. And I roleplayed as Latios and Latias that were twins named Lin and Lee. And I wrote this huge paragraph. Both of them, yeah. I did a lot of two people for some reason. So I wrote this big paragraph, and they replied and said, that's an amazing post. And then they said moon blinked. And they were the only other person on that thread. And I just stopped replying because I was like, this person doesn't appreciate my artistry. Oh yeah, okay, so here's Silent Paw down here. A report, I didn't, no. Kind of a furry, yeah, kind of. So Silent Kit, this is a stupid story. So when people roleplayed, sometimes they would like get busy with school or life, but they wouldn't want to lose their character, so they put them up for adoption. And also, if you roleplayed as a female cat that had kittens, they would put them up for adoption for people to roleplay them. So then people could be connected in the forums. Like you could play, because in the books, like the cats are a lot of like related stuff, right? So like on the forum, you could be related to the deputy or the leader. Anyway, so someone put Silent Kit up for adoption, and I adopted Silent Kit. It sounds wholesome. It was wholesome. I was like 13. I was just as I was now, right? Like I wasn't, it's not weird. Right, guys? So I adopted Silent Kit, and then I made her an apprentice, and I gave her to Dark Wish. So Dark Wish is my other Shadow Clan warrior, right? So I did this, like, you could see me sitting down here. I like kept pestering people to have the apprentice ceremony, and I finally got her turned into apprentice, and then I gave her Silent Paw to Dark Wish. But the thing is Silent Paw and Dark Wish were both owned by me, so I couldn't roleplay them training each other or anything because it would just be me talking. So neither of them got any threads after that. I like pushed to put them together, and then Silent Paw just disappeared because I couldn't train her. So Silent Paw, I'm really sorry if you're out there and you're listening. I didn't mean to leave you in the dark. I should have made an alt account. I probably should have. Character in fanfiction, it's not the same! Sorry. It's not the same. Fanfiction's not the same as roleplay. Thanks for the follow, Ever. Appreciate it. True fiction requires talent. Look, this isn't fanfiction, it's OC content, which is more talent because I came up with these characters myself, okay? I built everything from the ground up. I did not write fanfiction. No, I wrote OC content. OC content. Okay, this thread is also very cringy. We're gonna give this a quick scroll through. I'm not proud of this. This is a thread out of character where people just were posting brain teasers. And I would constantly reply and be like, these are all screenshots of things that I said. So they would write a brain teaser and I was like, psh, that took me like 5 seconds. And then I was like, I just like brain teasers, okay? This is how smart I was as a kid, okay? This is it. The reason I have this saved, though, is because I want to show you page 9. So as is typical, a thread started to be about brain teasers. Turned into roleplay. I'm not involved in this, but I just wanted to share it with you. That this is the environment in which I was in. Can I zoom in? I don't. So there were riddles here, and then they solved it. And then they got it correct, and they said, but I like a giant cookie girl voice. Girl, of course, being from Invader Zim. The person that wrote the riddle says, fine, but you must answer this riddle without cheating. A man had 12 toothpicks in front of him. He took one away, now he had 9 in front of him. How is this possible? My friend told me that one. He spelled 9 with the remaining 11. Yeah, you earned it. Hands out giant cookie. Yum. Looks like someone took a piece. Noms it. Yummy. Here you go, glowing mouse. Gives her a giant cookie. Mmm. I want one without a piece taken out. Fine, I'm feeling generous anyhow. Noms cookie. I will find your cookie factory someday, Sky. Someday. You can try, mutter something about a cookie factory being somewhere over the other side of the rainbow. I want a cookie. You nommed my cookie, Nom's head. You're prob. OMG, it has Smarties. Nom nom. Coughs. Sorry. And then they went back to riddles. And then, give me cookie, yummy sprinkles. And then the person that started the thread got mad at them for flooding and closed it. Those people are not me. Heavy sarcasm. Hydrate, thank you. Just want you guys to know that was not me. If you want to find me, this is me. I am Phoenix Feather on feralfront.com. I thought this was a good riddle. Mr. and Mrs. Plum have 6 daughters. Each daughter has 1 brother. How many people are in the Plum family? Someone said 14. That took me like 15 seconds. They are wrong. It would be 9 because if they have 6 daughters and each daughter has 1 brother, that's 1 boy plus the parents, so it's 9. Morons. Sorry, we won't get into that. Next up, we're gonna go back to roleplay. Let me hide this. Next up, Dark Wish is returning. One second. And we will be featuring Melancholy, who stuck to the theme of traditional cats and made his own cat.
QT Shadow I'd love.
TSG, thank you so much. I need channel points for me to get a Catsona warrior cat name. If you guys want to give yourself warrior cat names, you can do that in the Discord. I will not be against it. Okay, let me get the script up. So again, this will be taking place in Shadow Clan. Sorry, I have to drink water. I am playing the role of Dark Wish, and Melon is playing the role of Ghosted Mind. So in the books, they have normal names, and by normal, I mean like nature things, like Red Fur, Fire Heart, Leaf Dapple. But people online picked really random names, so Melon's Ghosted Mind. Okay. You guys ready? Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Oh god.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome, hello. I'm pretty sure I blend in pretty well with the theme.
Yeah, I'd say so. You look just like how I picture Ghosted Mind.
Yep, I am Ghosted Mind. So,
Do you have any questions
Do you
before we
say-
start?
do you say we're in America?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alright, that's what I was thinking.
Hi,
Right.
Micey. Okay. Any questions before we start? You know who you are, you know where we are.
Yeah, who reads first?
You go first, so take it away whenever you are ready.
Oh, okay, right. Alright, I gotta get into character. Okay, whew.
Yep.
Ghosted Mind lay under a tree, muttering things to himself. He hated his life. Some things he sees no reason to be here. Most time he ignores that thought when it comes up. The very big grey tabby sighed and grumbled some things to himself again.
Dark Wish woke up in her bed in the warrior's den. Her legs were a bit stiff, so she decided to go out into the forest, climb some trees, and maybe hunt. She walked behind the medicine cat's den and climbed the tall pine tree, which towered over the camp. Dark Wish sprang quickly from branch to branch and finally stopped right at the edge of the forest. She looked out over Shadow Clan territory. Then she heard a cat muttering. Dark Wish looked down and saw Ghosted Mind and strained her ears to listen. Something about how bad his life was. I know how you feel, she called below. My life sucks too. I'm just some she-cat who's never been to a gathering. Darkwish scrunched her face up in disgust.
Ghosted Mind looked up at Darkwish. You have no idea how I feel! Has your father ever tried to kill you or tell you how worthless you are?
I just want to point out that this is pretty much the exact thing that happened with Ravs's cat. I stared out at the edge of Shadow Clan territory and I found a male cat sulking about his dead father.
Hey, you wrote this.
Yeah, I did. I wrote half of it. Okay. My father is dead, Darkwish spat back. She jumped to a lower branch and then to the ground. And my mother, too. I have no siblings. I'm alone. She walked around Ghosted Mind, brushing her tail against him. But a strong cat does not need family.
Ghosted Mind scoffed. Ugh. And that when I was younger than 5 moons old. He remembered being 2 moons old, and for the first time his mother pushed him away. All he wanted to do was suckle, but his mom pushed him away. He finally took the milk from someone else's mother. Someone else's mother took him back. After that, she had scolded him and struck him for doing so.
Sorry. Darkwish admired this cat. He had been lonely, alone, pushed away, and hurt, she could tell. But still, he was strong and had confidence in his voice. She wanted to know more. Well, she said with a calm voice as she jumped back into her tree, if you're ever sick of being alone, I'm here. She locked eyes with Tom, smiled, and slipped into the shadows. Right away, she heard a crow nested not one tail length away. She quickly snatched it, killed it, and threw it to the ground in front of Ghost in Mind. I'll protect you. Let's see how you reacted to that.
The big great! Oh no, it's a... The big great Tabby flicks the crow back at Darkwish. I need him to protect me!
Sorry, can you say that again? You're peeking your mic a little bit.
The big great Tabby flicks the crow back at Darkwish. I need anyone to protect me! Exclamation point! He hissed. I was able to survive by myself for pretty much my whole life.
It is exactly the same. Darkwish looked down and gave Ghost in Mind a sympathetic look. Poor little kit, she said with a hint of humor in her voice. Well, I've got to get going. She stepped into the shadows, but poked her head back out again. Oh, and don't try to follow me. You won't be able to keep up. Darkwish flicked her tail and jumped to the next tree, leaving Ghost in Mind behind her.
Ghost in Mind raised an eyebrow. Oh, yeah! He said and stood up on his really long hind legs and ran after her.
Darkwish heard Ghost in Mind crash behind her. She sped up, leaping from tree to tree. She knew exactly where to bring him. Darkwish really high up and jumped down to a lower branch. She ran around trunks and wove in between the branches. I told you, she yelled back. This was the most fun she'd had in a while. She quickly climbed up a tall pine tree as high as she could, so that she was climbing up thin branches. Darkwish stopped at the highest branch that would support her small body and waited for Ghost in Mind to catch up.
Ghost in Mind growled and used his powerful long legs to jump to the branch above the lower branch and begun climbing the tree with ease. His long legs helped him in getting up a little quicker than most cats.
Well, look who decided to show up, Darkwish said. I've got to admit, you're quick. Not most Shadow Clan cats can climb trees, let alone keep up with me. Darkwish jumped down a branch so that she was level with Ghost in Mind. You've got some guts. She brushed Ghost in Mind's nose with her tail. But Darkwish whipped her head around. Did you hear that?
Ghost in Mind pulled his head back away from Darkwish's tail. Well, most Shadow Clanners weren't born freakishly long and tall. I'm bred to look like a winged clanner, but I have the buck of a Shadow Clanner, or blood, I meant. He said that as he turned his head towards the sound. Yeah, he grumbled.
I said, did you hear that? You just went, yeah. Darkwish hit Ghost in Mind with her tail. She parted her mouth to scent the air, and there, just the faintest smell of fox. Get back to camp and get reinforcements. But the two cats were trapped. The fox was already pacing in front of the tree. Great.
Ghost in Mind shook his head. I'm gonna stay. It's too late now, and I don't take orders from others. He leaned forward on the branch and kicked off with his hind legs, very long legs. He was aiming for the fox's back.
Well, Darkwish said, good luck with that. And she jumped to the next tree. She settled down on a nice branch and watched Ghost in Mind fight the fox alone. Good thing you don't need my help, right? You can protect yourself, she said triumphantly.
Ghost in Mind landed on the fox's back and bit its tail. The fox cried out and managed to fling him on the ground. I never said that. I said I don't take orders from others.
Close enough, Darkwish said, sounding bored. Well, if you ever need help, I'll be right here, she repeated. Darkwish snickered as Ghost in Mind fell to the ground. Nice one, she said under her breath.
Fox swiped Ghost in Mind's side and he hissed. He jumped back, then went for the fox's muzzle and got a swipe across the nose. The fox stepped back, looking surprised. This was all Ghost in Mind had needed. He rammed the fox with his head and set the fox running off. He spat out some blood and then seeped into his mouth from Fox's teeth that had seeped into his mouth.
Nice. Aren't you dangerous? Darkwish called down to Ghosted Mine. You're better than I thought. She lived down beside the Tom. Barely a scratch on you. Well, I'm going back to camp. See you later. She padded slowly into the woods.
Ghosted Mine shook his head as he followed Darkwish. I should claw your face off. And what if I couldn't fight that fox? Or what if more came? I was being beaten. Would you still be watching? Or what if you were in my position? He spat back. He fought back the urge to lash out at her.
You're right. If I was in your position, I would have probably been dead. But I wasn't in your position because I wasn't stupid enough to jump in after it. Darkwish replied, trying to keep her cool. And I would have helped you if I thought you would lose, but I didn't think you would. And it looks like I was right. Like usual.
Ghosted Mine gritted his teeth. If it's your intention to piss me off, well, yeah, you did.
Darkwish twitched her whiskers. Good. She wandered to camp, stopped, and turned back to look at Ghosted Mine. But only because you look cute when you're mad.
Ghosted Man froze. What did you say through a clenched jaw?
Darkwish giggled, if cats can. You heard me, she said. What do you think? No cat notices you?
Ghosted Man kept his jaw clenched. They usually leave me alone, full stop. He growled.
Well, if you would rather being alone, it's fine with me, Darkwish spat back. I have an apprentice to train now anyway. And with that, she ran into the woods.
Ghosted Mind was somewhat intrigued with Darkwish. He slunk off following her.
And scene.
Oh my god. Oh my.
And as we all know, that apprentice never existed. That was great. You did amazing.
Oh my. I was sitting there dreading this for the last 2 hours. Oh my god. When you first sent me, I was like, there's no way I'm reading this.
Yeah.
I read the description of my character, and I was like, oh god.
He's edgy.
Yeah,
But he's cute when he's mad, so it's fine.
Oh.
Well, you did great. It's over now. You can go relax, and don't worry about your online footprint.
Yeah, I will forever be known as this wizard cat. Texan wizard cat.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Oh wait, hold on. There's one more line from whatever my cat's name is. It says, "I need 5 gifted subs so I can rest and follow Darkwish." Oh wow, well that was so weird that you put that in there.
Yeah, I didn't even know what gift subs were. That's crazy.
Oh wow, that's so strange. Anyways,
yeah, but you heard it, chat. Oh wait, there's people here. I thought we were just role playing.
Oh, that's so weird.
Ellipsis gift.
Alright, good
Get
luck
out
with
of
the rest
here.
of it.
Thank you. See you. Anonymous gifter, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Woo! That's the last one with a live person. I hope you guys enjoyed. Actually, that's not true. We have the mod squad. But I need to run to the washroom. So I'm going to take a quick break, like an actual break, and do that. And I will be back. Drew, thanks for gifting us up to Darkwish. Wow, I didn't know that was going to be there. No, I have a recording from Zoe next, and then we're going to do the mods, and we're going to do one with chat, so you guys can participate in the last one. I need 10 others, so. But I really need to go to the washroom, so I'm going to do that real quick. I'll be a couple minutes, okay? See you in like 3 minutes. Okay, hello. Using this break to make a Warrior Cats OC on the official site. Let's go. Yeah, so they still make books. Like there are currently a series still coming out. There's 6 books in a series, and I think they're halfway through the current one. So, hi, how are y'all doing stream? I hope that you're liking it. That's Squirrel Flight on the okay. Yeah, I hope that everyone's having a good time. Favorite schedule? What do I think of Pet the Mods? They're pretty cool. They have moved on to the Bravelands. Are they at a new place? It's been so good. Thank you, I'm glad. For a schedule, we have one more short one. Oh, see you, Bean. Good night. We have one more short one, very short, with Zoe. And then we have a thread with the mods that has Christy, Piz, and Rain. And it also, or not Rain, because Rain is still working, I think. I mean, we could get Rain on Hunting, the one after that. And then it also has VIPs, so Richie, Evac, and Juice in it. KFTV? No, I got Evac to sit in, but you can join for the one after that if you're here and available. And then the one after that, I need 10 people from chat that are willing to do it. So let me know. Melon wants to volunteer? Melon can say that. And I also have a bit more stuff after as well. We have some Wattpad and things. If you want to see a sneak peek, we have that. Okay, so next up is a Wild Paw. This is Sunflash again. So clearly I had favorite cats. I used Sunflash and Dark Wish a lot. Okay. Probably Poison to watch, yeah. So this one with Zoe is very short. This is the one, I mean, you'll see. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. Okay. You guys ready? I don't have a picture for Zoe, but she's playing Wild Paw, so an apprentice of ShadowClan. I need to open this first. Okay. Sunflash walked up to the great oak, leading his new apprentice. He stopped and turned to her. For our first lesson, I'm going to teach you to hunt. You know, like birds, mice, and frogs. 'Cause someone has to feed the clan, you know? Sunflash paused and looked at Wildpaw. He coughed. Sorry, he blushed. I talk a lot. Anyway, he said cheerfully, show me what you've got. And here is Zoe.
Wildpaw mind swam with worry about her first time with her mentor. Paws were a bit shaky as she followed behind eyes on the ground till she felt a slow in her mentor. Gaze slowly moved from ground to the large tree before her. Before she could ask how did it get so big, she was told to show him her hunting skills. Gulping down on a dry throat, slowly she bounded forward, lowering her frame some with her tail poked up. Crouching a little, but somewhat off from how it's really done, she tried to stalk a bird who sat on a large root. She had no idea why it flew away before she could get it. Or was it because she was in the open and didn't hide herself well? Mouse dung.
Thank you, Zoe. I see, Sunflash said as his apprentice just missed her prey. He was trying to sound important and confident even though he was twitching with nervousness. We'll have to work on your hunting crouch. Observe. Sunflash crouched low to the ground and balancing his weight. Mice will feel you coming before they see you, smell, or hear you, so you have to stay light on your paws. Try it, he told Wildpaw. And then they never responded. I posted that on April 5th. Then on September 10th, I wrote in all capitals, "Since you aren't replying, I am withdrawing my cat, and I'm going to give him a new active apprentice. Rest in peace, Wildpaw." All right. Next up is the mod squad and the VIPs. Who am I playing in this one? Oh, I'm playing someone small, so give me a second. I'm once again playing 2 cats. So my friend, a friend of mine did roleplay with me, and we made our own group of loners, so cats that aren't in clans, and we attacked a clan with them. We attacked Sun Clan, which is another fake made-up clan that people just made up. And this thread is about us attacking. So it's a combat thread. What's a rogue? It's the same. A rogue is like a hostile loner, I think. Okay. I'm going to hop and call. Mods, Vips, I need Christy, I need Evac, I need Richie Bon, I need Juicy, and Piz, and I think that's everyone? Here they come. Here they come. Here they come. Alright. I think we're missing one more? Evac, where's Evac? Evac, are you here? I'll ping him. She's just something transparent, it's okay. You are up. Isn't he live right now? Oh, he's here. Okay. Okay, I think we have everyone. Hello?
Meow.
Meowdy?
Meowdy. I think everyone's
Hello?
here, right? Hello?
Hello, hi.
Oh gosh, Piz is loud. I need to turn you down.
Oh no.
It's okay, it's okay. Roll call, Akio. Are you here? Akio? That's you, Evac.
Hello.
Berry Tail,
Good evening.
Night Pelt,
Present.
Mufasa,
Hello.
and Breeze Whisper.
Meow.
Alright, perfect. So this thread is a bit of a longer one. And it's quite convoluted because there is 6 of us. You guys all
So-
have it open though, right?
I do. I have a question, if I may.
Yes.
So I know we're reading for cats, but are we also reading the narration for the
Yes.
cats' owners? So I'm reading Night Pill, but I'm actually reading Darkness Rises 7, right?
Yeah, you're reading the whole paragraph of your section.
From that user.
Yes.
Okay, understood.
Any other
Which
questions?
is the perfect assignment for me. Darkness Rises 7 is like a username I would use, so that's
Yeah,
great.
Darkness Rises 7. It's pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
like you. Uh-huh.
May as well be me.
Alright. Well, if there are no other questions. Evac, I believe you're up first. Take it away.
Okay. I've hold on, my lines aren't up.
It's fine. It's fine. Just wait. We're on page 1 of the thread. Do you want me to post it again?
I got it. Okay. All right.
Okay, here we go.
All right. How do I pronounce my own name?
I think it's Akio.
Okay, that's how okay. Akio, a golden tabby Tom, leaped into the Sun Clan leader's den, his lip drawn back into a snarl. He and his 2 friends, Fence and Torched, had all agreed that it would be a great idea to attack the Kitty Pet clan's leader. Akio looked over his shoulder for a second to see if they were still there and hadn't chickened out on him. That would really suck.
I play Fence and Torched. Fence grinned up at Akio. We're coming, he muttered. Torched ran in, curled his lip in a snarl. He could hear the blood pounding in his ears and the adrenaline coursing through his veins. Torched gave Akio his crooked grin. Ready, he said. Fence did the same.
Nightpelt heard something. She jumped up and raced toward the sound. When she reached the sound, she saw the loners, her lips curled to a snarl, claws unleashed. She was ready to attack.
Akio spun around when he noticed another cat entering the den. Finally, they had been searching for a Sun Clanner all day. Hey, kitty pet. Akio sneered before launching himself at the cat, aiming to land on the cat's back.
Hearing Akio, Berrytail entered the den, wondering what was going on. With a furious snarl, Berrytail launched herself on top of Akio, and flung him to the side. While he lay there off guard and surprised, Berrytail fiercely dragged her claws through Akio's unprotected belly and yowled with triumph.
Breeze Whisper walks up to Ellen's den, going to introduce herself to her leader. Voices of cats unfamiliar told her that something was not right. She suddenly peeked into the den, unsure what was going on. Seeing 3 loners in her leader's den, one who was fighting with Berrytail, brought her to her senses, and she leaped into the den, anger blazing in her eyes. What's going on here? She snarls and a growl rises in her throat. She lashes her tail angrily and her fur was bristling.
Amazing.
A low growl escaped Berrytail's throat. Loads are attacking. Help me fight them off, Berrytail said, still struggling with the cat, called Akio.
Kitty pet, Nightpelt growled. She tried to jump on the loner and bite hard in the loner's shoulder while scratching the loner's side with her back paws.
Berrytail felt more confident now that another warrior had joined in to help her. Using up all her strength, she attempted to pin Akio to the ground. Now, tell me again, who's a kitty pet? She snarled, spitting at the pitiful loner.
Out of character, I said, whoa, power play much? You guys can't just do that, you know. But, meh, not my cat getting attacked. Frostfeather, are you okay with this? Fence walked up to Berrytail and twitched his ears. Well, hello, beautiful, he said. Torch smacked Fence in the face with his tail. We're attacking them, idiot! Fence coughed and turned to Berrytail again. Sorry, but I don't think us will work right now. I'm kind of busy attacking a bunch of kitty pets. Fence smirked and lunged at Berrytail, claws extended. Torch turned to Nightpelt and tried to bite her tail. Hold still, he called as her tail swept back and forth.
Out of character. Oh, sorry, I'm new. Berrytail swiftly dodged the attack and aimed her own blow.
Nightpelt made a brief purr when her friend Berrytail said, "Who is the kitty pet now?" but continued attacking.
Out of character. Guys, you have to wait for me to reply when you're attacking my cat. And power playing is when you hurt someone's cat without their permission. Instead of Berrytail pinned Akio, put Berrytail attempted to pin Akio. Smiley face. Akio's lip drew back into a snarl when the cat named Berrytail attacked him. He slipped out from her pen, glaring at the pathetic kitty pet. The golden tabby glanced gratefully at Fence and Torched as they helped him. Then the powerful Tom leaped at Breeze Whisper, aiming to hit her in the side and knock her over.
Also, it's not us getting the names wrong. We genuinely wrote the wrong names back in the day. we just changed the cast names every time.
Also, Darkness Rises uses like no punctuation.
Yeah, it's
just
great.
So everyone knows that it's clear.
Torch scowled as the she-cat as her tail hit her brackets Night Pelt. He leapt back away from Night Pelt, bared his teeth in a growl. Torch yowled and jumped back at Night Pelt. Fence got smacked by the female kitty pet / warrior. He looked at her, astounded. "How dare you!" he said, and leapt at Berrytail again, teeth bared and claws extended.
Berrytail was not expecting the attack to come so quickly. She managed to dodge the attack, but not before the loner's claw nicked her side. Grimacing, she ignored the pain and hissed fiercely. "No cat gets away with injuring me," she yelled furiously and dove at the loner, claws unsheathed and jaws wide open.
Fence licked his paw as Berrytail hit the floor. He purred and smiled. "That's what you get for hitting me." Fence turned to look at her and saw that she was lunging at him. He slowly put his paw down. "Oh crap," Fence said as Berrytail plowed him to the ground. He wrestled with her, trying to pin her down.
With a roar, the deputy of Sun Clan raced out of the warrior's den. Although he was still injured, Mufasa still made a formidable opponent. The massive Tom reached out, aiming to cuff Fence. Behind him, Furnace Heat let out a loud yowl. The flame point raced towards Akio. "Ouch, ye rascal! What are ye doing in fair Sun Clan, if and I may ask?"
Sorry, that was great. Fence rolled to his side, just nearly dodging Mufasa's blow. "Whoa, whoa! No need to maim the nice loner, Tom," he yelped, fighting two cats at once. Torch saw Fence was in trouble and turned to help him. He pounced, teeth bared and claws extended, aiming for the Sun Clan deputy.
Mufasa rolled over, aiming to use his legs and knock Torch away with a kick.
Akio paused for a moment and looked at the cat who was asking him a question. It took a moment for him to decipher the thick accent. "I'm attacking the kitty pet clan," he said simply, lost for words. After giving his answer, Akio aimed a swipe with his claws at Furnace Heat's nose, happy to go back to fighting. The tabby wondered if Fence and Torched were doing all right. Out of character. Scottish accent?
Torch crashed to the ground. He quickly jumped up and yelled as he sprang at Mufasa. "Come on, guys, you can't dodge everything." Out of character.
Out of character. Yeah, Frost Feather. Also, Phoenix Feather, Mufasa has only dodged once. Furnace Heat felt the claws score across his cheeks. The flame point surged forward, aiming to clamp his jaws in Akio's neck. "Yeah, you rascal! I'll teach ye not to mess with us!" The deputy charged forward, aiming to use his weight to knock Torched away.
Breeze Whisper snarls at Akio and springs onto the loner's back, scratching it repetitively. "No one messes with my clan," she growls.
Berrytail looked around the den. Seeing Mufasa battling Torch, she rushed over to help. She attempted to pierce his neck with a fatal wound.
Dang.
To grab her.
Oh, out of character. Cat Lover 23, please do not power play. Instead of putting springs onto Akio's back and scratching it repetitively, put Breeze Whisker tries to spring onto Akio's back so she could claw him, or something like that. Smiley face. Akio felt the Sun Clan cat sink his teeth into his neck. The large Tom pulled away before the wound could sink in too deep. Blood started flowing from the gash, which made Akio quite angry. He realized that Fence, Torched, and himself should leave soon. They had caused enough trouble and too many cats were arriving. The golden spotted tabby arched his back and advanced towards Furnace Heat before lunging and trying to knock the cat off balance.
Nightpelt flung herself onto one of the loners, but got knocked off by another. "There are too many!" she screamed to her leader.
I'm reading this too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Nightpelt flung herself onto one of the loners, but got knocked.
So you're quoting that person.
Oh yeah, quote. Yeah. Okay. Darkness, out of character. Darkness, please remember to put in your post intent to harm the cat. Otherwise, it is power playing. Daddy! And Mira shrieked and jackknifed towards the loners.
Oh yeah, you play like 8 different characters because this person just like runs the entire clan. So like
Oh, yeah.
Mufasa.
I'm trying.
And then Furnace Heat comes out, and then Ahmed Hamiria, Amedhaamiria yells "Daddy" out of nowhere. Sorry, go on.
I
Richie.
love the power plane accusation followed by "Daddy" in all caps. It's like,
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Richie.
out of context. Sorry, I was not trying to power play. I was just trying to get it where Night Pelt retreat the clan.
Retreat spelled Reachreat. Retreat.
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 Breeze Whisper growled at Akio and glared at him for only a moment before attempting to scratch the cat's shoulder. She realized that there were so many loners here and she felt overpowered for a second, but then she snapped out of that thought and looked at Berrytail to see if she needed any help.
Nightpelt went for Akio, but froze in her path as she heard a faint yowl.
Hope everyone's following, as there's a lot going on. Fence leapt up and ran over to Akio. He ran toward Furnace Heat and lunged right beside Akio. While in the air, Fence snarled and yelled at Akio. "There's too many! We've got to get out of here!" Torch dropped suddenly to his belly as Mufasa dove over him. He could feel the fur from the Sun Clan cat brush his own, and Torch sighed as he realized he had just escaped death. He stood and faced the Sun Clan deputy, ready. Torch's eyes flitted around the den, and he realized the 3 outcasts were largely outnumbered.
Leave! Mufasa snarled, his eyes blazing with rage. We're not the usual kitty pets, you bully. The Maine Coon fluffed himself up to appear even more massive than he usually was.
The Maine Coon? Oh, this is someone we didn't even have. Sorry.
Oh!
Raven's Soul, without warning and complete madness, went to stand beside at Mufasa and stared at the attacking loners angrily. Good sentence. "Get out of here," he spat, the large Tom's hackles raising, "or you'll regret you have ever called us as kitty pet. Called us and kitty pet."
Akio felt Breeze Whisper's claws scratch down his shoulder, though ignored it and took a step away. Akio nodded in agreement to Fence's words. There were too many cats fighting now. The large golden tabby glared at the Sun Clanners for a moment, before motioning for Torch to join him and Fence. Hopefully they would be able to leave without much of a fight. He doubted the kitty pets even had the guts to kill. "Come on," he meowed to his companions. "Let's go."
Raven's Soul took and stepped towards Akio, snarling and bristling. "Get out of here. You're wasting our time. If the loners wanted to come and fight, they could do it when he was in a bad mood. But now, right now, see you later, you punks."
Breeze Whisper glared at Akio and snarled angrily. She was tired, and blood matted her pelt because of the cuts she had gotten, but she still took her place next to her other clanmates, watching the loners.
Berrytail let a low growl escape from her throat, her tail lashing angrily. "Good riddance," she spat.
Fence shrugged and frowned. "Meh, whatever, kitty pets," he yawed. "Thanks for some fun." As he turned to follow Akio out of the den, Fence winked at Berrytail. "See you later, beautiful," he said, smiling. Torch ran over and smacked Fence in the face with his tail. "Not now, we just lost, idiot." But he too turned and smiled at the clan before running after Akio. And we'll end there because the rest of it is not our characters. Pretty much.
Yay!
Great.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Good stuff.
That was a good fight. Thanks for power playing, you guys.
Yeah, I like
power
how
play.
Darkness never came back after the daddy. Like,
yeah.
that was
I want
too
that to be my dying words.
Yeah.
Daddy?
Daddy?
That was great. Thank you all. You're all wonderful. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shadow.
Enjoy
See
your
ya.
evenings and your streams and whatnot. Bye.
Bye.
Sean, thank you for the raid. Sorry to just ignore you. We are doing readings of my childhood cringe roleplay. And it's going pretty well. We have one left. And I think we're gonna get some people from chat involved. I need 10 characters. 10 people, I think. Let me go double check, because it's Stormfire, Gravelwing, Birchtail, Cream Crescent, Eternal Rapture. The cat's name is Eternal Rapture. Belladonna, Bubba, Ice Feather, Adriana, and Dawn Petal are all people that we need. If you're interested in doing it, there is a post in the Going Live channel in the Discord. We have Ellipsis, Drew, Nemeth, Mamo, Corvid, Lime, Harugal. That's 7. Max, and I need Disco. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need one more. Anyone? Anyone? I would volunteer by dignity, but alas, I'm drying my hair that day. All good. Anyone? Hey, yo? It says there's 10 now. Who just got added? D. D is for demise. Okay. Mods, if you could help me give permission to those 10 people to see the Warrior Cat voice channel. Actually, just hop in a voice call and I'll drag you in. If mods could help me drag the people into the Warrior Cat voice call, that would be very handy. Just one sec. I have to move you all. My Discord's not big enough to drag up the whole page. Okay, I think we have everyone here. Alright, here's everyone. Got him, thank you. I will grab the thread. It is 7 pages long. I think we'll do... Should we do the whole thing, or is that way too long? All 7? We can do it? I mean, might as well, right? If you don't see your role here, I'm sorry, because I don't remember who talks when. In the chat for the call that we are in, I am posting the link. Okay. Hello and welcome. In the chat text channel for this voice call, there is a link. You can click that and open it. Let me assign you.
Cannot.
I can't see it.
You can't open it?
No.
No permission.
Yeah.
Nope.
You need permission?
I'm not allowed.
Messages failed to load. Try again.
Oh, because you're not allowed to see this channel. I see. I'm just gonna put it in general chat then.
Okay.
Just screw it.
Oh, good lord.
It's long. I don't know if we'll do the whole thing, because it's long.
You just tell us when to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might get a role that doesn't have text until the last page, and I'm sorry. But I'm just gonna go down and assign you names that I've written, okay? Corvid, you are Stormfire.
Got it.
Drew, you are Gravelwing. Ellipsis, you are Birchtail. D is for Demise, you are Cream Crescent.
Gotcha.
Who did the last one I said? I say ellipsis. Herugal, you are eternal rapture. Lime, you are belladonna. Mamo, you are Bubba. Nemit, you are Ice Feather. And Uncle Disco, you are Adriana. Did I miss anyone?
Did we need to get Max in here?
Max, hello? I was wondering because I had an extra name. Max, you are Dawn Petal.
Okay.
Okay? Is everybody ready?
So is there a frost feather and an ice feather?
So Frost
Apparently.
Frost Feather is the username. Ice Feather is the cat. So Stormfire is played by Frost Feather.
Oh, so you just scroll down
got
until you
it.
see
Yeah,
stuff appear.
I don't know their usernames. I didn't write those ones down. Okay? if there's any scuffness, it's fine. But Stormfire is up first, so go for it.
Okay. Stormfire stood in the shallows of the river, peering into the water patiently. He shivered, not quite used to the chilly leaf-fall water. A brown fish swam by, and Stormfire's paw quickly dove in and scooped the fish up onto the shore. He jumped up onto the shore and picked up the fish, killing it. Stormfire let the fish drop onto the sandy banks and sighed with satisfaction at his catch.
Gravelwing walked towards the river. I'll go to hunt, since I have nothing else to do. She thought. Well, she reached her destination. She saw a black cat nearby. It awakened her interest. So she padded towards the cat. She could see that he was fishing. Hello there. I'm Gravelwing. She meowed to the tom and nodded her head as a greeting. Her gaze examined the tom, and then she saw the fish he had caught. Nice catch, she added happily and smiled to the tom.
Stormfire turned toward the she-cat. Thanks, he mewed. He desperately tried to think of something else to say. Glancing down to his cat, she quickly added, Are you hunting too? He sat down with his tail curled neatly around his paws.
Gravelwing sat down and meowed to the tom. Yes, actually. I have nothing else to do, so I'll hunt. She looked into the water and hesitated. She could see one silvery fish. She licked her lips and meowed slowly to the shore. The fish didn't realize her and remained still. Quickly, she scooped the water, and the fish flew to the shore. She was pleased and looked at Tom. By the way, what is your name?
Also, it does say she liked her lips. Please be accurate.
My bad.
It's okay. Max, we are on number 5. Quiet Water walked quietly, towards the river. Her brother had said he was going hunting, so she thought she might as well join him. As Quiet Water neared the water, she smiled as the leaf-fall breeze cooled her skin. She saw her brother, Stormfire, and walked up to him. Hey, she whispered near his ear. Quiet Water's bright blue gaze switched to the she-cat standing a few paces away and raised her eyebrow. Who's that?
Stormfire glanced at his Quiet Water and mewed. Oh, hi, Quiet Water. Quiet Water. Quiet Water.
Quiet Water.
This is, he trailed away. He turned back to the she-cat. Well, I'm Stormfire, and this is my sister Quiet Water. What is your name? He meowed quietly.
Gravelwing looked at the she-cat with an interest. It was clear that those two cats knew each other already. Oh, they must be friends. Or could they even be mates? As Stormfire introduced himself and the other cat, she realized that she was his sister. With a little laugh, she introduced herself. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Gravelwing.
Nice to meet you too, he mewed quietly. He looked at Gravelwing and his sister awkwardly before hurrying down to the shallows of the river to hunt some more. Stormfire waited patiently until a small fish swam into the shallows. Stormfire's paw darted toward the fish to scoop it out of the water. He missed, and the fish darted away quickly. He glanced up to the shoreline, embarrassed at his miss.
Quietwater kept looking at Gravelwing and nodded to her. As Stormfire clumsily missed his prey, Quietwater blah, 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 slowly shook her head. Klutz, she thought. Quietwater glanced at Gravelwing and walked slowly to her brother in the river. She entwined her tail with his and turned her head to stare at the she-cat on shore, and smiled, but not kindly. Something about Gravelwing just rubbed Quietwater the wrong way. Why? She wondered.
Gravelwing looked at the two cats and smiled. Then she turned to look at the water and started to fish again. Unfortunately, she wasn't so lucky anymore. She could sense that the other she-cat didn't like her presence, so maybe that was why she couldn't focus enough. Well, what can I do? If she doesn't like me, then she doesn't.
Out of character. May I join? Birchtail bounded over to the river. His dark brown pelt gleamed in the sun. He searched the area, his yellow eyes resting on a cat not too far away. Being too antisocial to deal with them at the moment, he looked back down into the water. He noticed good-sized fish swimming around, looking among the bottom of the river for food. With one swift movement of his paw, fish scooped out onto the shore. He killed it quickly, and then looked back into the water for more. But the other fish that were around there had been scared away. Looking back at the other cats, he noticed one was by herself, while the other two seemed relatively close. Feeling some sort of pity for the excluded she-cat, he picked the fish and inched closer to them. He perked his fur-tipped ears and hoped to maybe eavesdrop on their conversation.
Stormfire watched her sister give Gravelwing a cold look. Well, they don't like each other, he observed. He tried to think of something to say to make this moment less awkward as he scanned the water for prey. Have you been a warrior for long? He asked Gravelwing, as friendly as he could manage. He moved away from his sister and padded a bit farther down the river in search of fish.
Out of character. I don't mind at all. Gravelwing looked at Stormfire. Mewed happily. Actually, I have been a warrior only 7 moonrises. I'm still learning things. Then she saw another cat nearby. He had a dark brown pelt. Gravelwing mewed to him. Hello there. My name is Gravelwing.
Birchtail winced as another cat exposed him. Not wanting to be completely rude, he padded a bit closer. Hey, he muttered. The name's Birchtail.
Stormfire ears pricked up with interest as he watched Birchtail. Hello, he meowed shyly to the newcomer. He turned his attention back to hunting just as a swam by where he was standing. Stormfire's paw dove into the water, flicking the fish onto the bank. He followed it quickly, picking up his prey and biting the fish to kill it. Second catch of the day, he thought happily, and looked up toward his sister for approval.
Birchtail grunts as he's greeted by a cat who didn't bother to introduce himself. He quickly and skillfully catches one more fish before leaving. Curiosity caused him to stay a bit longer. And you? He asked Quietwater.
Quietwater nodded her approval to Stormfire. Then she turned and looked at the Tom inspecting her. She raised an eyebrow. Quietwater, was all she said.
Birchtail gave her a quick smirk. Quietwater, he meowed. It seems that name suits you. Feeling a bit unwanted, he picks up his fish and got ready to leave. See you around then, he grumbled.
Stormfire dropped.
Sorry, go ahead.
Stormfire dropped his fish on the ground beside his other catch and turned to watch Birchtail. I guess he's leaving, he thought and meowed. Bye, Birchtail. He padded toward Quietwater and sat down beside her to watch him leave.
Quietwater narrowed her eyes and followed the Tom. This Tom intrigued her. She flicked her tail in farewell to Gravelwing and Stormfire.
Stormfire watched her sister leave to follow the Tom and tilted her head to the side in confusion. Quietwater usually isn't one to socialize, he thought, and sat there for a few moments thinking. Then, seeming to remember Gravelwing was there, he turned to her and meowed to her. Well, I wasn't made a warrior too long ago either. I still have a lot of practicing to do. He briefly remembered his clumsiness.
Birchtail was making his way back to the camp before smelling one of the cats still nearby. He dropped his fish and whipped around defensively. only to see Quickwater a few tail lengths away. What do you want? He asked, hiding his slight embarrassment.
True.
Gravelwing nodded farewell to Birchtail and Quietwater. Then she turned to look at Stormfire, who told her about how long he had been a warrior. Gravelwing purred with amusement and let a little laugh escape from her mouth. Well, I'm sure that we will learn everything we need to learn. Not long time ago, I met a she-cat named Silent Stream, and she encouraged me because I was afraid that I will never make a good warrior. Now I feel myself much braver. She mewed and smiled to Stormfire.
Stormfire listened to Gravelwing's story and nodded. Quietwater does help me a lot with my duties, he replied. I don't understand why Quietwater doesn't like this cat, he thought. She seems friendly enough. As he was thinking, a water vole crept out of its hiding place in the rocky shore. His eyes followed it as it climbed out of the rocks. Stormfire flicked his tail toward the vole and mouthed to Greywing, Do you want to go for it, or shall I?
Quietwater smiled weakly. What do I want? She wondered. She searched her mind for words. Would you like to go hunting with me? She said suddenly, blushed with embarrassment.
Birchtail looked in the direction of the camp, then at Quietwater. Ellipsis. All right, he said somewhat suspiciously. After burying his two fish for later, he padded up next to her. You lead the way, he meowed.
Gravelwing saw the vole and let her eyes follow too. Then she heard Stormfire's question. She turned to look at the Tom and mewed as quietly as she could. You can take it. It was you who first saw it. She cat smiled to the Tom and touched his flank gently with her tail. It was meant to be friendly and polite gesture. I hope that he will catch it, she thought.
Cream Crescent kept her body low to the ground, and gently crept towards the chipmunk eating nuts. Her ears pricked. A sparrow called an alarm and took off. The chipmunk glanced around, but didn't see her. Steadying her breathing, Cream Crescent crept up behind the chipmunk and pounced on it. It let out a squeal of terror. She bit it, and the life slowly drained out of it. It was a fat, juicy squirrel, too, and she was going to give it to the queens. They'd be happy to take it.
Quietwater nodded to the Tom and turned and walked back towards the river. What am I doing? She thought. As the two cats' paws hit the water, Quietwater parted her mouth, trying to find prey. There was a nest of water birds not too far away in the reeds, and Quietwater quietly walked over. Sorry. The young geese were sleeping, warm in the nest. The mother was nowhere to be seen. Quietwater beckoned Birchtail over with her tail.
Birchtail crept up next to Quietwater. They're defenseless, he began. Ellipsis. Perfect. Slowly stalking over to the nest, he managed to swiftly grab one by the neck. He turned around, proud of the successful catch, until he heard honking. Birchtail whipped his head around as he felt a sharp pain on his tail. Geeslings had woken, and they were fighting back. He managed to fling that one off with a swipe of his large tail, but the other two flapped on over, biting his ankles. Ouch! Why, you little... He snarled and batted them as he batted them all away.
Quietwater snickered lightly. She walked over and swiftly killed one of the baby geese, trying to give it a gentle death. The other gosling turned around Birchtail and started nipping at Quietwater's paws. Agitated, she extended her front leg, kicking the baby goose about a fox length away. Quietwater flinched as she heard it crack as it hit the water face first. Wait, what? She turned to Birchtail with amusement in her eyes. You okay? She asked.
Why wouldn't I be? Birchtail hissed, embarrassed. He picked up one of the dead goslings and looked back up at Quietwater. Seeing the amused look on his face, he couldn't help but crack a smile. If I hunt any more prey, I won't be able to carry it all home, he told her as his normal attitude returned.
Maybe we can help. Now the two cats from across the river. Eternal Rapture started swimming across and stopped at the riverland shore of the river. Her smell was completely that of a loner. as were the apprentice-age kids that followed her. She tread cautiously on the bank of the river.
Quietwater eyed the newcomers. Their scent was wretched, clearly not from a clan. Well, maybe Shadow Clan. But either way, they were not allowed here. Quietwater laid back her ears and hissed at the cats. "This is River Clan territory," she said through gritted teeth.
Belladonna watched the conflict between the older cats quietly without any input of her own.
Thank you, Belladonna.
I am the wayward river clanner that wishes to return. Eternal Rapture meowed calmly. Wayward child who tried to kill her mother. But in the end, she had been right. It doesn't even matter. So maybe they'd allow her back. Desolate Star had been a nut.
Stormfire nodded at Gravelwing with a slight smile. He began to stalk toward it, his paws treading lightly on the ground. Suddenly, Stormfire sprang at the mouse, capturing it between his paws. He killed it quickly with one sharp bite to the neck. Stormfire let it drop limply to the ground before purring. He usually did not have good luck with foals, and most got away.
Birchtail grunts as more cats arrive at the scene. "Why do you leave River Clan in the first place?" he asked Eternal Rapture. "Threw the dead gosling at her for her to carry back, then retrieved his stew fish." "Let's go to Shimmerstar then," he muttered, heading back to the camp.
Mama said there was a leader that was a loser, Belladonna piped up to Birchtail, hoping that she had gotten her facts right.
But now the loser was driven out, and there's a new leader or something.
Eternal Rapture nodded at her daughter. That was probably enough said. The last River Clan leader had been her mother, and had also called a massive horde of anti-clans to descend down on the River Clan in pursuit of some kids she had stolen.
Baba followed after his mother. The tabby nodded to his sister's word. Grandma, these nuts?
Nice, True.
Good, Stormfire. That was a nice catch. Gravelwing mewed and padded over to him. She let out a little laugh and mewed. "We have caught so much prey that none needs to be hungry." Then she turned her head to look in the direction where Quietwater and Birchtail had gone. "I wonder what is happening there," she mewed.
Yeah, Birchtail grumbled at Eternal Rapture and her kittens. "Are you guys coming or not?" he asked rudely, giving Quietwater a quick glance before disappearing into the undergrowth. Smiley face. "Birchtail, out!" Smiley face.
Bye, Birchtail.
Out of character. Want to make a new thread and camp/Simstars Den? Of course, Eternal Rapture meowed, padding after them. She only had her 2 kids now. One of her daughters had died when she'd wandered off, and one of her sons had died when he got a splinter in his paw.
So sad. And then Birchtail and Eternal Rapture, they leave and they make a new thread, and then they link the thread, and then they just disappear. Yeah.
Quietwater shook her head slowly.
That's
"No,
me, that's
I'll
me,
stay."
That's me.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Sorry. I was just trying to read see if I missed anything. Okay. Quietwater shook her head slowly. "No, I'll stay." She turned and padded back over to where Stormfire and Gravelwing were still hunting. "That was weird," she said. Quietwater noticed the water vole at her brother's feet, and she smiled. "Nice catch," she said.
He replied to Gravelwing and Quietwater with a smile on his face. Then Stormfire turned to his sister. "What was weird?" he said, looking concerned.
Gravelwing saw Quietwater coming back and mewed to her. "I thought I smelled other cats. What happened there?"
Quietwater ignored Gravelwing and turned to Stormfire. "Just some loners. Birchtail took care of it."
Stormfire nodded at his sister, not completely satisfied with her answer. He knew it would be hopeless to try and get more out of her, though. He glanced worried at Gravelwing. Quietwater is being rude again, he thought. I hope Gravelwing wouldn't be bugged by it too much. He sat down on a rock near the edge of the river. "Did you catch any prey?" he asked his sister curiously.
Ice Feather jumped startled. She was too busy catching fresh kill to notice other cats.
Quietwater nodded to her brother. We found a goose nest, she smiled at the memory of the baby geese attacking Birchtail.
Geese? Great catch, meowed Stormfire, proud of his sister. He recalled all of the prey they had caught today. No cat shall be hungry, he thought, satisfied. He turned to Gravelwing and thought, well, Quietwater obviously isn't going to start a conversation with her. He thought hard for a moment before mewing quietly. Do you have any littermates, Gravelwing?
Adriana was hunting on Rivertland's territory. She jumped into the lake and hooked a couple of fish with her paws. She killed them all with one bite. Adriana purred with satisfaction. More prey for me and less for the clans, Adriana thought to herself. Suddenly, Adriana heard paw steps behind her.
Paw steps belong to Birchtail. Or so I'm guessing now, XD. For reasons unknown to him, he had wanted to come back to the river. What are you doing here? The dark warrior hissed at Adriana. Stealing prey, he then answered for her.
Quietwater smiled at her brother as he praised her. She looked over his shoulder and saw a cat hunting in the river with Birchtail. So he's back, she thought. Quietwater didn't recognize the she-cat. Quietwater pointed her tail at the she-cat. Another loner? She asked. Let's go find out, Quietwater thought, already running up to the Tom and the mysterious she-cat.
Stormfire's hackles were raised. He ran after his sister, mewling over his shoulder. Talk to you later, Gravelwing. He approached the Adriana, growling threateningly.
Adriana twisted her ears, growling. She unsheathed her claws in case the cats leapt on her.
Quietwater stopped in front of the she-cat. This cat was definitely not from a clan. Quietwater also unsheathed her claws. Quietwater laid back her ears and let out a hiss. She looked uncertainly at Birchtail. Who is this? Her eyes said. It's Cream Crescent. I don't remember who that is. Anyone?
That Herugal?
Herugal wasn't
No, I've gone. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah,
I think
he's a
someone
Twin of
else
Rapture.
jumped out. Oh, it's Demise.
It's okay. Cream Crescent saw a blackbird. She quietly stalked it and hit it hard on the head. It was knocked out. She quickly killed it with a bite to the neck. I think they're just doing their own thing. Don't worry about them.
Adriana hissed. If you want to fight, you'll get one. Adriana narrowed her eyes. We both know who's going to win. Adriana was not afraid of this cat. She had won many battles before with the clan cats and many to come.
Birchtail didn't answer Quietwater, for he didn't know who the she-cat was either. He turned back to the loner, accepting her challenge.
Oh no.
Yes, Quietwater and I will win. So you may want to run back now while it's not too late. Then, he too sheathed his claws. His fur puffed him up to make him look even larger than usual.
Stormfire glared at Birchtail for leaving him out. He looked back to Adriana. Are you crazy? 3 against 1? And we're clan cats too. We pwned. We pwn. Stormfire smiled.
We pwn.
Birchtail flinched slightly as Stormfire spoke. He hadn't noticed that the Tom was there as well. He gave him an apologetic nod before glaring back at the loner.
Adriana hissed bravely. I could take on 100 of you fools. Adriana showed no fear as she bared her teeth at the 2 cats. I will hunt a bit more. I will have a nice nap, Adriana hissed.
Birchtail, being incredibly short-fused and able to see words wouldn't convince this stubborn she-cat, let out a ferocious yowl as he leapt across the space between him and the loner. He landed on top of her and bit vigorously at her neck.
Wow, this cat is stupid. Stormfire shook his head in disbelief. 3 against 1 is basically impossible to win, no matter the cat. He growled to Adriana and sprang into action to assist Birchtail. Stormfire slashed at Adriana, aiming for her face.
Adriana flung over, flinging Birchtail off her pelt or something. Adriana aimed at clawing at Birthtail's side. Adriana was barely quick enough to dodge Stormfire's blow. Adriana started focusing on defending herself. Who's scared now? Adriana hissed at the two cats.
They're being shaken off. Birchtail rebounded off a rock and landed swiftly on his feet. You should be, he hissed. Then sprinted up to her, only to turn right at the last moment, scraping his claws along her side as he flew by.
Stormfire attacked the Adriana's left side while Birchtail was occupied with the right. He hissed, clawing madly at her side.
Adriana fenced at being clawed. I can't win this battle, but I'll leave you with some scars to remember me, Adriana thought to herself. Adriana lunged at Birchtail and sunk her teeth into his/her ear. Adriana dodged Stormfire's claws and aimed her claws at his ears.
Birchtail winced as there was a sharp pain in his ear. He blindly batted his paws, pushing Adriana away. Regaining composure, he noticed a few drops of blood on the forest floor. He now had a large gap on his left ear, and his amber eyes burned with rage. You're gonna pay for that with your life, he warned her.
Out of OCC. Out character. Please do not scar my cat. I like his ears the way they are, winky face. Stormfire bit the paw that was scratching at him firmly. Can you leave now, please, he mumbled through mouthful of fur.
Out of character? Okay, I won't, XD. I'm leaving. Don't believe the battle is won. I'll be back, Adriana threatened. And when I do, I'll have more cats. Adriana crouched down to the cold forest floor. Her eyes darted back and forth as if checking if they would finish her off. If they dare touch me. If they dare touch me, I'll rip their head off, Adriana thought.
Yeah, I'm shaking in my fur, Birchtail snarled sarcastically. He licked his paws and swiped it over his injured ear, but stopped when he realized how much it stung. Looking up, he noticed that the she-cat was slowly creeping away. Hurry up and go already, he spat.
Size equals 8. Dawn Petal bounded forwards, her blue eyes widening as she saw an intruder on RiverClan territory. The intruder was crouching low, looking defeated. Glancing around, the RiverClan she-cat saw that many of the cats had a few battle wounds. A battle must have happened to fight off the intruder. What's going on here? She asked, glancing at the group of cats.
What does it look like? Birchtail rudely. He flicked his tail in annoyance and padded to the river to wash the blood off his ear. When she comes back, I swear. Ellipsis, he thought bitterly.
Size equals 8. Dawn Petal flinched at Birchtail's ruled words. What had she done to get him angry? Maybe the battle had fired him up. Dawn Petal decided not to answer. Instead, she just glanced around at the cats with wide eyes.
Adriana narrowed her eyes. If I wasn't surrounded by cats, you'd be crow food by now. Adriana spat at Birchtail. Looking at the new warrior, Adriana bared her teeth. Yes, go run off with your little clan mates. Adriana turned and stalked off. If they think that's going to keep me from hunting on the territory, they're mouse-brained.
Birchtail rolled his eyes as he heard the loner still calling after him. He looked back at the others, his eyes resting on Quietwater for a moment. I better go see the medicine cat, he thought as he padded away. Out of character. Just so you know, Bumble, Birchtail is rude to everyone, XD. Smiley face. Birchtail, out. Smiley face.
Bye again, Birchtail. Out of character. I'm gone for a few hours and I miss a whole battle, XD? Okay, let's see. Quietwater stared at as the two Toms attacked the loner. She flinched as the she-cat bit Birchtail in the ear. That's going to sting. Before Quietwater even had a chance to join, in brackets, ... The battle was over. The clan cats had won. That's right, she thought as the loner walked away defeated. Quietwater nodded to Birchtail as he went towards the medicine cat's den. As Dawnpetal came closer, Quietwater decided that she didn't trust Adriana to leave. Quietwater flicked her tail in greeting and farewell to Stormfire and Dawnpetal and ran up beside Adriana. "I'll escort you out," she said, looking ahead.
Adriana laid back her ears and hissed. Afraid I may haunt. Adriana spat. What kind of mouse brain do you think I am? He's going to come with me no matter what I say, Adriana sighed. But very well. But once I get off my territory, you better back off. Adriana started walking again.
Size equals 8. Dawnpetal stepped forwards quickly, glancing at the intruder. I'll come with you. She might attack again, and it'd be better if there were 2 cats, just in case. She suggested warily to Quietwater.
Adriana narrowed her eyes, but did not argue. Well, I did not have all day. Are you escorting me or what? Adriana said with an edge in her meow.
An edge in her meow. Out of character, Vineheart, Quietwater is a she, smiley face. Quietwater nodded to Dawnpetal, then rolled her eyes at Adriana. Yes, patience, little kit. Oh, and in answer to your question, I think you are very mouse-brained. For the few minutes I've known you, you have invaded RiverClan territory, lost your temper, and jumped into a battle you would obviously lose. So, I wouldn't be talking. Quietwater kept her voice cool and kept staring ahead.
Out of character. Loner got pwned. XD. So, sorry, haha. I love Quietwater. I'm just stalking around in this thread because I don't think Skyvision is alive. 030.
Adriana laughed. I bet you wouldn't say that if you didn't have your tiny friend with you, Adriana said, slightly amused. Adriana stopped laughing and added, You don't know who I am. Maybe I could have a secret power or the best fighting skills. In my opinion, you're foolish.
Dawnpetal purred quietly at Adriana's words, but she didn't interrupt their interesting conversation.
Quietwater kept walking, but finally looked at the loner. You're just stalling. You will leave here. I will make sure of that. I don't have to who you are or what you can do.
Adriana ignored Quietwater and carried on walking. They think they can keep me out? Just wait, they'll be ever so surprised when I come back, Adriana thought.
Size equals 8. Dawnpetal continued to escort the grumpy loner to the borders, walking alongside some of her clanmates. Surprisingly, the loner kept her mouth shut when Quietwater spoke. Almost at the borders, Dawnpetal thought with a swish of her tail. Then we can get rid of this grumpy she-cat.
Quietwater nodded triumphantly and kept walking forward. This loner was fierce, determined, and absolutely untrustworthy. As they reached the Wind Clan border, Quietwater stopped and waited for Adriana to leave.
I think I can leave my escorts here, Adriana meowed when they reached the end of the border. If they think I'm going to thank them, they'll die.
Quietwater nodded again. We will wait here until we are sure you have gone.
Adriana narrowed her eyes, but didn't complain. Adriana started walking towards the forest. There better be a river here. I like nice plump fish, Adriana called behind her back.
Quietwater rolled her eyes at the she-cat. Just keep walking, she muttered, smiling at Dawnpetal's slash.
Size equals 8. Dawnpetal purred lightly again at the retreating loner. She seemed grumpy enough to be an elder. That was interesting, she commented, once the loner was out of earshot.
Adriana glanced back one last time. She realized they were talking. I know what about that mouse brain loner. Adriana flicked her ears. Oh, how she loathed the clan cats believing their stupid little ways.
Out of character, I've been away a while. Well, I'll write something. As Quietwater and Stormfire went away, she continued hunting. She was lucky and caught another fish. Maybe I should take those back to camp? When she started to walk towards camp, she could see Stormfire. He looked like he had been fighting. So Gravelwing headed over to him. What happened? Did you fight someone? Where's your sister?
Stormfire looked at Gravelwing, feeling tired. A loner was stealing some fish in the river. She refused to leave when told, so Birchtail and I fought her. Quiet Water is now escorting the loner out of our territory, he replied to Gravelwing. A scratch on his flank was bleeding, so Stormfire gave it a few quick licks before mewling. Do you need some help carrying that? Stormfire's tail flicked toward the large amount of fresh kill she was carrying.
Gravelwing was shocked because of what had happened. She quickly started to round Stormfire and asked, "Are you okay then? Do you have any scratches?" When she saw the wound on his flank, her pelt bristled. "Yes, you have. Can you manage?" She turned to look at her 2 fish and mewed. "Yes, I think that I need help. Thanks, but first we need to look at your scratch. Is it painful? Should I lick it?" She asked and felt herself a bit embarrassed.
Cream Crescent trotted back to the fresh kill pile. It had been a good day of hunting for her.
Mewed Stormfire, his fur hot with embarrassment from all the attention he was being given. I don't know, he replied. Would that make it better? Stormfire wasn't much of a medicine cat. He had no idea how to take care of wounds.
Well, I've heard that it helps sometimes, ellipses. So it might be good if I look at it. Gravelwing mewed shyly, but then walked closer to Stormfire and took a better look of his wound. It wasn't really bad, but she could see that couple of licks would make it better. Quickly, but softly, she licked his wound. Then she stopped and mewed to Stormfire. "It's not so bad. I think that if you are lucky, you won't even have a scar."
Stormfire, feeling suddenly shy, nodded and smiled at Gravelwing appreciatively. Thank you, Stormfire mewed quietly. He picked up one of her fish to help carry them back to camp. Wow, she's so nice. I can't believe Quiet Water dislikes her, he thought.
"No need." Gravelwing mewed as Stormfire thanked her. She picked up the other fish and patted after him.
Cream Crescent entered RiverClan camp. It was buzzing with activity. Elders were telling the kids stories from their time, while apprentices were busy practicing battle moves. Cream Crescent dropped by the fresh kill pile, where some warriors who were on the dawn patrol were exchanging stories. Cream Crescent dipped her head, acknowledging that they were there. Then she put down her fresh kill, getting ready for her patrol.
Quiet Water nodded to Dawn Petal and started to walk back to Stormfire and Gravelwing. She walked in the water and let the cool river refresh her. Quiet Water smiled at Stormfire and Gravelwing as she neared them.
Stormfire smiled at his sister and meowed. Hi, Quiet Water. We were just going to bring these fish back to camp.
When Gravelwing saw Quiet Water, her good mood decreased a bit. There she comes. However, she nodded to the other she-cat and smiled.
Quiet Water nodded to Stormfire. Need help, she asked. She didn't look at Gravelwing.
Sure, he said, passing his water bowl over to her. Did that loner leave quietly?
Quiet Water snorted. No, but I handled her. She winked at Stormfire.
Storm Kit smiled at Quiet Water, knowing what handled her meant.
It's good that she didn't cause you problem. Rogues can be a real harm sometimes. Gravelwing mewed. She could remember one mean rogue who had attacked her when she was an apprentice. Luckily, her mentor had been nearby and chased it away.
Stormfire nodded to Gravelwing in agreement. Yes, they can be trouble, he mewed simply. He began to make his way back to camp, looking over his shoulder to see if the other 2 cats were following.
Out of character. Stormkit? LOL. In character. Quiet Water watched her brother leave and followed him.
Out of character? Stormkit? Darn it. Presses the edit button. Stormfire turned around and meowed to Gravelwing. See you around sometime. Then he hurried toward camp at a fast pace. Stormfire, out!
Quietwater tilted her head, confused as her brother sped away. She turned and nodded to Gravelwing and raced after Stormfire. Quietwater, out.
Gravelwing nodded to Quietwater and then said to Stormfire, "Yeah, bye." After that, she padded away. Gravelwing, out.
And scene! Thank you, everyone. Sorry to the people that only had like one line or their cat was just like, she was there and did nothing.
That is okay.
That's fine. That is absolutely fine.
Extras are an important part
So
of
good.
everything
Thanks for having
like
us.
this.
Yeah, it's really mixed the setting. Thank you all for doing that. That went by pretty fast, I think.
That was
7
fun.
days.
That was wild.
That was a lot of
Very
fun.
wild.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great fun.
Thank you very much.
Bye 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 bye.
Appreciate it. Bye 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 bye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness, that was so fun. Also, this is official, not official, but like this is the art that I used for Quietwater. This is her. Boop, boop, boop. Froggy Bay, thanks for the follow. There's a raid in there. Let me go read. AC Booster, thanks for gifting us up to Dawn Petals. Faye Bania, thanks for gifting 5 subs. Judge Armada, thanks for the follow. Harry, thank you for the resub. If you're here, I'm sorry. I hope everyone has been enjoying the stream. That's the end of our roleplay reading. We have a bit more to go through of other cringe stuff, Wattpad and things. I'm blushing so hard. You did amazing, Corvid. I didn't know how many lines each character would have. I just wrote down the names, so apologies if it was too many lines or not enough lines, or if it was like different gender. I apologize. I just kind of picked them randomly. You all did amazing. Official Quietwater OC, do not steal. Bubba has such an arc. Bubba said like 2 things. I love that people who are just like, they just like, imagine just seeing 7 people roleplay and just going in saying, I stand there but say nothing, and then never coming back. Never been a cap before. You did amazing. Size equals 8. That was great. Down to the owner of the Dawn. I kept interrupting your time with Gravelwing. I know! And being such a jerk about it, too. Maybe they're anxious? Yeah, maybe. Beldon was an only child. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna end with just some chill stuff. I was gonna stream Dark Souls after this, but I don't know if I will. I don't know if I will. Okay, so we'll do a bit of side stuff. Thanks for sharing that show. You're welcome. So that's the role play. I have a bit more out of character stuff and other like Tumblr stuff and Wattpad stuff that we'll go through. I've been through the Dark Souls of my childhood. Yeah. So in one thread, I think it was with Sarah. Thanks for licking my wound better. I could hear Drew like uncomfortably shifting when he's like, I approach and I lick your wound. I've been taking care of my mom's dog and she came by to pick her up and she's been watching this whole time. She's confused but I tried. Oh gosh, no. Don't judge 14-year-old Shadow until you get back to do the things you did at 14. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. So with Sarah, her person said that they loved my signatures, right? So signatures were things that were at the bottom of posts, and I had these commissioned. I didn't pay, but someone offered to like make signatures of your cats for you. Let's be up as VOD. Yeah, I'm gonna up it as a VOD. I'm gonna highlight it, so it's gonna be there forever. So I asked these to be made for my cats, and yeah, I was very like particular about them, and I had these at the bottom of my page. So we have the Outcasts. So that's Fence and Torched, who you heard, and Accio. So Accio and Stormfire were both played by my friend from school. That's why we played like people that talk to each other and brother and sister. So Akio was, of course, Evac. Torched and Fence for me. Sunflash, cheerfulness is the course of my life. So great, so cute. Yeah. These are originals. I went through every post and I found these and I like saved them. These are the ones that I don't think they had the photo bucket. They might have, actually. They might have. I don't know. Yeah, these are the ones that survived. So Sunflash, Dark Wish, be careful what you wish for. Oh, she's so edgy and cool. Day Shadow and Night Shine, Sun and Moon, Day and Night, sister and brother, Sparkfoot. Sparkfoot's from Wind Clan. Don't ask how I know that. I have to take painkillers, not sure if the last 2 hours have been real. They are. Yeah, so like these ones, I asked him what to put, and I thought these were so cool, and people complimented me on these, and I was like, dang, my signatures are so cool. The in-character stuff is bad, but the out-of-character stuff is not easy. So I'm just gonna, so this was my start to a thread that I wanted to start, so I'm gonna read it for you. The Night Stalkers Want You by Phoenix Feather, December 6, 2011. Hee hee, that title sounds really creepy, but I don't want to change it because it's true, XD. So, heya, column 3. I have a clan that lurks in the city and is mysterious and awesome. Haha, yeah. Anyway, you should join. We need more people and you are perfect for the spot. If you love to roleplay as a character who are sly and stealthy and have interesting personalities, this clan is perfect, so come check it out. Also, our old deputy left because, actually, I have no idea. But yeah, we are in dire need of a deputy and active members in general because a lot of people seem to have left. But that's not because it wasn't fun or anything. I just went inactive for a bit and they decided they would too. I feel like this isn't a very good recruiting post. Just please check out this clan, read the page because I actually tried to act professional here. Yep. So that was the Night Stalkers. Oh, can I not click this? This is so embarrassing. I made a thread called Phoenix Feathers Corner. I said, so I realized that I have read a lot of good books that other people probably haven't read or heard of. Being the geek that I am, I have played like a bajillion fantastic video games and board games. Keep in mind, though, I only play Nintendo systems. Okay, guys? I only play Nintendo systems. So I'll just list a bunch of stuff that I've read and games I've played, and you can ask me about them. I'll give reviews, recommendations, and all that jazz. Also, if you have any video games that you want, my friend code, so you can battle Sutter, just ask. And nobody replied. Nobody replied. I was like, hey, if you want any reviews, I got you reviews. You did amazing, Drew. What did I list? Rampant? I don't even know what this book is. Oh, wait, is that the one where they, like, hunt... Is that the one where they hunt unicorns? Oops, no, don't do Netflix, don't do Netflix. Yeah, it was the one where they hunt unicorns. Killer Unicorns, #1. Circle Trilogy. I don't remember these because I read them when I was too young and they went over my head. Wings is a fairy book. Night Angel Trilogy is still my favorite, but I haven't reread it in a bajillion years. Is anything else here funny? Watership Down, I didn't know who it was by. I didn't know how to Google it. Warrior series, obviously. Nothing here is really interesting. Video games, Mario, duh. Zelda, Ocarina of Time, the best one. Assassin's Creed, Pokemon for the Wind, false. Mini Ninjas, Avatar, Wii Sports, Music, Play, Party, Kirby, Epic, Yarn. Going Brain Dead, I've definitely played a lot more. Board games. Up and Down the River, that's a card game. Mini ninjas. Do you know what mini ninjas is? It's this one. It's so bad. Alright, that's that. No one replied. I was really sad. Okay, now we're moving off of Feral Front / Blue and Leaf to Wattpad. This is my Wattpad. If you want to go read my stories, that's my @ Erilyn Art, thanks for the follow. I was Hippo Ninja. That was my username for a long time. See you, Lars. Oh, you just said thanks. I thought that was gonna end with a bye. Thank you very much. I hope this is a good blast from the past. I don't really can't believe you're giving this for free. This was not for free, Cat. This was 1,000 sub goal. This is the. I'm gonna tell the story again because I'm sure there are people here that don't know the story. But I posted a story that no one ever commented on, and except for my one friend from church. And his name was Charles D. And then once I got a comment that wasn't from him. It was from Bracelet Buddy 33. Her old name was Starlight Inspiration. And she replied to both of us and said, "Awesome job on the story. Episodes upload soon. I mean upload it." And then this is the same guy. I told my friend Charles D, that's not his real name, but I was like, I'm so excited someone besides you has commented on my stuff. And he told me years later that it was actually his alt account commenting on my stories along with his main account so that I wouldn't feel bad. He told me that when we were like teenagers. And I was like, why would you admit that? It's been years. It's been years since we wrote those stories. So it's 2011, so how old was I? I was 14. He probably told me when we were like 17 or 18. And I was like, why would you? I also think it's funny. We're gonna go through my my about section on Wattpad. I wrote all the things that I like. We're gonna go through all of them. Bleach, Harry Potter XD, Avatar, both Blue People movie and cartoon show, still true. Still true. Animes to some extent. I like seasons. What does that mean? I like winter, I guess. I like words. I like hippos. Guys, we're not there yet. I like ninjas. I like video games. I like Zelda, Pokemon, Assassin's Creed, etc. The only Assassin's Creed game I'd played was 3, because that's the only one that was on the Wii U. I like books. Duh. Writing. Double duh. I like opposites. I like thinking. I like the mind. I like Jesus. Heart. I like mythology. I like River Tam. If you know who that is, I love you. Of course, is from Firefly. I like trivia. Winky face. I like Holland. My family is Dutch. Also, is this music still good? Should we change the music? We're no longer in epic roleplay mode. I might change it to head empty. I think we're in head empty mode. All of Holland. Yeah, I like Dutch things. Here's to Holland.
Here's to Holland.
Thank you. Things I dislike. Boring, dull, bland things. Board games. I don't like board games because my parents made me play them. I don't like Mary Sue's, characters who are indestructible. I don't like goody two-shoes and know-it-alls. I don't like poor grammar. Grammar spelt wrong. Do you notice that? Do you notice that I spelt grammar wrong? I roleplayed Latios and their Mary Sue's. Yeah. Did you notice that though? I dislike poor grammar. I guess I love bad spelling. Definitely noticed that. I just think it's funny I like opposites thinking the mind. I'm so cool. And seasons and words. I was so like ephemeral. Darna, thanks for giving us up to grammar. I appreciate it. Oh. Alright. I don't want to do this part. I don't want to do this part. I don't want to do this part. Can we end the stream? What is that? So I said I'd cover the role plays that aren't just warrior cats. And I role played as Nekozawa. Okay. Ouran High School Host Club is an anime/manga series about kids at a really, really rich school, and they have a host club where beautiful young girls with too much time on their hands could spend money. Thanks for giving us up to Corvid. Could spend money. The puppet guy, cat, we're gonna get there, okay? They could spend money to spend time with the host club. The host club are like really pretty rich guys, and the girls spend money to spend time with them, like on a date. And that's what the show's about. And I was part of a group of people on Tumblr who roleplayed as those boys. So people could pretend to be people visiting the host club, and they could like ask us questions and pretend that they were in the show and like essentially pretend that they were visiting the host club. Are the stories about ugly people? There were a couple. Which was fun. Like, it was interactive roleplay. And I wanted to join in, but all of the main cast were taken. Let me show you what the main cast looks like. This is them, right? Cute, flowery, very pretty. I roleplayed as this guy. Nekozawa, leader of the Dark Magic Club. Because he was the only one that was left. He had a puppet. Yeah, this is Balzanef. I put as the dark and edgy, cunning and sly character. That's, yeah, This is the blog. Very pretty. I have, with the help of Christy, chosen some of the best stuff from there. So this is it. Someone named the Curious Little Kitten messaged me and said, in character, uncomfortable, eh? She grinned and kissed his cheek. That should work. Nekozawa blinked and looked over at the girl, unsure of how to react. He said nothing and blinked at her, confused. So it's a romance anime, and people would, like, pretend to date me. Yumi smiled and said, "You okay?" Nekozawa took a step back from Yumi. He said, he wasn't used to people talking to him much, let alone a pretty girl like Yumi. And she kissed him? That was the sign of love, right? Nekozawa's mind raced, trying to piece this together. How did one respond to a kiss? React to love? Nekozawa didn't know. Nekozawa shrugged. I'm not much one for cooking, he said, but it seems similar enough to potion making and alchemy, he suggested. Maybe they could exchange skills sometime. Hey girl, wanna exchange skills sometimes? He smirked slightly at the girl. Oh yeah, I also typed like he was a vampire. Being alone is wonderful, isn't it? He laughed a little. My name is Umehito Nekozawa, president of the Black Magic Club here at Ouran. Perhaps you've heard of it? He asked hopefully. Alright, that was that. I didn't do it much because he was not very popular. Here is stuff that's out of character from Tumblr. Here is me freaking out while watching Full Metal Alchemist. I did a key smash. Overslept. Yeah, I was late and I would talk on the tags, so I overslept and I was like, sorry. And I was like, Mustang, you are so great. He is so epic and dark. Okay, so random fact, but I absolutely love it when characters have a dark side and go all evil and crazy. Like Ichigo's hollow and light in that last episode, and Roy, now I love you, Mustang. Tagged, just watching some FMAB. Hee hee. I also watched it dubbed, and that may or may not be the reason why I liked Critical Role. Me being cool and Canadian, I said, oh yeah, that's why my dash is dead. Americans are all in school, I see. And I tagged it, haha, peasants, all of you people in school, haha, Canada for the win. Hey, Sean. Oh gosh, you're still here? Oh no. Everyone can leave. It's fine. This isn't important. I don't want people to know that this... That's fine. No, it's good that he's here. I'm just embarrassed because Sean's cool and now he knows that I'm not. If you don't know, in role-playing, your muse is the character that you roleplay as, and the mun is you. So I said, guys, my muse is dead. I have no creative spark. Ah, this sucks. Hopefully that'll be good for Halloween, because I loves Halloween. People just didn't really roleplay to me. I did you can post any number and I'll reply. One note. Like, I wasn't popular, okay? This one got 3, and that was cool for me. I'm plenty cool, thanks, AC. 43, sexiest person that comes to mind immediately. I said Hikaru Hitachin. I mean, what? Hikaru Hitachin is one of the twins in Ouran High School House Club. He's my favorite character in anything ever, still. And I said, actually, this is actually a hard question. No one came to mind immediately, and I have to think of who I like. Oh, I know. Andrew Garfield. He's hot. The sexiest person I can think of, I said Andrew Garfield. He did well in her... Yeah. Could do a lot worse. Yeah? I guess. Don't ask me who it is now, because I don't know. Okay, here's another roleplay. Me trying to start one. You gotta follow this blog. I don't think it... I mean, you could follow it, but I don't know the login anymore. Okay. Cool breeze. Nekozawa and Haruhi. Nekozawa sat on a bench. You meant Spider-Man. I know, Sean. You said Harry Potter, and I thought that was funny. Nekozawa sat on a bench in the shade of a large tree on the Ouran campus, silent. The sky was gray as a cool autumn breeze blew, thrusting the black hood of Nekozawa's cloak back. He frowned slightly as he pulled the hood back over his face, and his right hand was Beelzebub, gently resting against the boy's leg. Nekozawa smiled slightly at the overcast weather, glad to be outside, but still out in the sun. Why is it marked in pink? So I sent this blog to Christine. I was like, what are your favorites here? And she sent that back. Highlighted. She's like, this is why it's funny. Horny Jill? I don't even think I had like that concept. I really like the dating stuff, but like it never went bad. Just so everyone knows, it never went beyond like cats licking each other and people kissing each other on the cheek. And I said, sorry, this starter kind of sucks. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to go crawl in a hole now. Like, your thoughts here? Yeah, well, you know me. Love seasons and cheeses. Such a good stream. What a presentation, holy. When I took a break, I had to take my sweater off because I was sweating so much. Are there any questions? At least anything you do on stream can't embrace you now? Definitely for Affinity. I don't know what that is. I don't know what for Affinity is. Thank you very much for hitting the sub goal. Again, this sub goal paid for my TwitchCon. So thank you all very, very much. I'm more corrupting than Minx. I was pure. I just did roleplay. Are you doing this the second time? Well, there is a whole blog that I didn't show that I'm too embarrassed and worried to show. So, imagine if you roleplayed badly. Yeah, it was good, right? That was pretty good. That one's not going to see the light of day. That was a wild ride. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I don't think I'm going to play Dark Souls tonight. Maybe we'll play that tomorrow. 10k subs, you get to see that black. No, I don't even think so. No power play. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad it went well. I didn't know how long it would take. Very much enjoyed. You're welcome. I mean, I don't have any plans tonight. I should probably end though, right? So we can archive this. If you want someone else making Warrior Cat OC and memes, go for it. So brave for doing this. Thanks. This isn't, I don't mind showing this. It's fine. Everyone knows that I'm nerdy. Right? Like, it's... First sparked my interest in roleplay. I think the first thing I did was I played like heroes. Also, I would just write my own stories on paper. Once I wrote Yogs #1 best bits of 2023, thanks. So just to change my name. I wrote on like notepads when I was a kid, and I wrote like heroes stuff, and I made like a character named Embry because I thought it was like ember, like fire. And my mom found it and wrote next to it embryo, like she drew an O next to it with a question mark. And I was so embarrassed I never wrote it on paper again, and I went online. And then I found these other forums, so that's how that started. Yeah. Also, most of the characters that I created were named Kyler because I was obsessed with the Night Angel trilogy, which I'm actually going to reread soon because I haven't read it since I was 14. Oh, Noon Absolutely Savage? Yeah, that's where I get it from. Yeah, I just liked the concept. Like, I like the idea of like Harry Potter houses, like Warrior Cat clans, and like even in Avatar now, like the Avatar Last Airbender with like the different nations and stuff. Callistan's the most basic ass name for a character. That's what the main character in the Night Angel trilogy is called, and I stole it. Yeah, I also named a lot of people Kai, because Kai was the nickname of, or the name of my character in my first ever story. Maybe one day we'll read, like, my book that I wrote. It's not on Wattpad. Maybe we could do that. I don't know. It's not cringe, though. It's just bad. I did a lot of writing. But that's what, like, made me get into books and writing and stuff, so I don't mind it being cringy. It made me who I am today, Copia. Yeah, anything else? Should we do anything else? I don't think so. It feels too early to end. Hi, Lollip. Did miss it. Oh, I didn't share this. I roleplayed as a guy that had a horse named Dusk. I did horse roleplay. But, we're not gonna do that. I wasn't a horse girl, okay? My friend just invited me to this one because they wanted more people. Just saying. Do you still talk to any of these people? No. My friend that I did it with, like, she went to elementary school and high school with me, and she was my best friend. She lives, I don't know, Tara, I haven't seen her in like 3 years, but I still know her. Kind of having the courage. Reading was fun. Other readers were goodly talented. Yeah, they're all great. Big shoutouts to Ravs, OC, Sarah, Zoe, Melon, the mods, and chat for hopping in. You all did amazingly, and that was great. Thank you so much. I think we're just gonna end it there. Is that okay? I think that was pretty good. We're gonna play some epic outro music. That means it's the same song that I played for the intro. Neon High Note. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I should end stream, right? I shouldn't keep stream. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to do. It's only 7 p.m. You're gonna bond right more? Maybe. Eat dinner. I guess I could go eat, huh? I'm going to send you guys over to a friend. Oh, I don't really know her very well. I have a bunch of friends, Domo, Aggie, people that are doing Elden Ring bingos, and they have a new member named Parky, and she's learning and practicing doing bingos with them, and she's really, really cool. And she's still learning, but she's amazing at it, so we're gonna go raid her. By 8:30, if no excuses, how to play. I can write somewhere roleplay. If I consider Subnautica, I have Fear Deep Water. But yeah, this will be archived forever, so I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you again. I peeped views like once or twice, and it's been crazy. So thank you very, very much. Say hi to Parky. Please copy the raid message and be very nice to her. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it, that there were lots of memes and fun times, and I encourage you to make a Warrior Cat OC and change your name in the Discord, because that'd be funny. Yeah, thanks for the subs, follows, all that stuff. Thank you all very, 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 very much. I was very nervous. I didn't sleep that well last night, but I think it went very well. So thank you. And I will see you all tomorrow, maybe a bit earlier than 4, because I'm doing a recording on Wednesday, which means I have to end early tomorrow, so I'll probably start early tomorrow. We'll do some Dark Souls. Sound good? Alrighty then. Good night, everyone. Thank you.